6:22. Darren Bingley, 6:13. Ian Serple, 14:85. Colin Dunford, 1:21. Lee Gunshark, 5:96. Scott Carstairs, 8:79. Mick Rothwell, 8:29. Cole Shutter, 9:18. Rob Johns. And at the back for John Mickle and NZ11 Stan Hickey. Well on the starters order for getting ready for
Welcome to Abbey Stadium, Swindon, venue for the 1998 Formula 2 Stock Car World Final. Abbey Stadium is new for stock cars, at least new in the respect that it's back after such a long break. It's virtually like coming back to a new stadium. But you look out there at the track and it is pretty much the same as it was back in the 60s when it was the venue for Formula 2 World Finals. The first one was here in 63. In a moment we'll show you a replica of the car that won back in 63. I'm standing by a copy of a car that I personally raced here in the 64 and 65 World Finals. Not, I must add, to any great success. Although in its form as it's shown here, we came home in 6th place in that 65 World Final. Long time ago, but certainly the high point of a misspent youth. We wander on now to have a look at the car that Roy Goodman raced to win the 63 World Final, the very first held here at Swindon. This is how Formula 2 stock car racing started. The cars you'll see in today's World Final are very fiery mood, totally specially built cars with very little resemblance to the way cars were when they started. But this is just 3 years after Formula 2 started in the UK, and pretty much the same as the cars were back when the sport very first started in 1960. The only changes that really took part were a bit of a roll cage, bumpers. In the case of the cars that were more often raced, they reversed the wheels to give them a bit more track, wheel spaces on the back maybe a twin carb manifold on the 410 horsepower engine, 1172cc. But other than that, a standard car with a bit of roll cage, a seat moved towards the middle, and you're ready for racing. A car cost you maybe about £10 or £15 to build, and every time you race you'd be earning £3.50 start money. They were grand old days, and this is the kind of car that Roy used to win that very first World Final in 1963.
The top contenders for the World Final title this afternoon, 658 from Lancaster, Dean Mason. Well, Dean, this is probably the best starting position you've gained for a World Final, but unfortunately for you it's on shell this year.
Yeah, it could be a problem, yeah. Awkward one.
Although you started your career with the Outlaws and you've raced on shell quite a bit then, haven't you?
I did a lot of shell in earlier years, but it's a lot different now. When you've done 2 or 3 meetings, it's a lot harder. Struggling a little bit on shell. We'll see what happens today.
Have you ever been to the Swindon Stadium before?
Yeah, I come about a month ago. It was very wet. Not very good. A couple of 7s, that was it really.
The track seems to be in a very dry condition. Do you think that will favour you?
I don't know. I'll go and watch a couple of races before World Final and we'll see what track looks like, and then we'll play with car recording. But I mean, I'm not the world's best on shell, so we'll see how it goes. So that's really it.
So who do you think will be the main rival for the big race? Of course, Rob. But is there anybody else you will be keeping an eye on?
I don't know. I mean, if it had been wet, I'd have put money on Finney. I mean, he's outstanding when it's wet. In dry, I think it's just a bit of a lottery now. We'll see whoever finishes, you know. And you've got to actually keep running to finish. And if you're in one piece, you stand a chance.
So we probably won't expect a first band lunch from Dean Mason.
It all depends on what Robert does in corner. I mean, we'll see. We'll just take it as it comes. I mean, it was a thought at the beginning, but I'm thinking against it now. But we'll see. You never know.
Okay, Dean. Best of luck in the World Final.
Thank you very much. Cheers. All the best.
Top shell drivers from the UK, and he's made it into the World Final, the one on shell. So I think he's very happy, Mark Woodall.
Yeah, fine. I'm in a good place for today, so see what happens really. Hopefully the track will be a little bit wet for the start and give us a bit more of a chance, so see what happens really. So
was it different this year in the semi, because I mean it was a World Final on shell and it doesn't happen too often that it's run on this surface, so was there extra pressure on you when you went out in your semi?
Yeah, a little bit, because you it's a big thing to make the semis and get through, and one thing, and like you just wanna make it through really, because it's always the wrong people that get through all the time. So yeah, so we'll I'm pleased I made it, and like just had to do what I did. I kept out of trouble at Skeg and for today really, so can start causing a bit more action today.
You've just mentioned there's not many really shell drivers, many shell drivers on the track. Do you think that could favour you? You know, the people that are a bit hesitant racing on the loose for a change.
Well, it just varies. I mean, there's a few there. There's quite a lot of people out there capable of winning today. So whatever, just see. Yeah, so see what happens.
Are you going for a specific aim, top 10 finish perhaps?
Yeah, hopefully, probably further up. Just see what happens at the beginning. So see what happens really.
Okay, we wish you all the best, Mark.
Thanks a lot.
Don't forget he won a final to qualify for this race on the grid back at Skegness round 7. And the 2 reserves, 368 Steve Clayton and 756 Phil Kane. 20 lap race this one, Mr. Starter. Right, start to pick out your favourite driver. Give that driver a cheer. Soon to be shown the green flag. One final cheer, please, and away they go. We've gone green. Let's see what happens. Finnegan doesn't get a good start. He's already lost a few places. It's Taylor that takes him into the first bench charge. Taylor 790. Rob Johnson 824. Then Finnegan, he slipped back into third position. Won't be too concerned just at the moment. Here they come. Challenge goes in from Johnson on the back of the Taylor car. The flashing lights of Taylor takes them around to start the next lap. 790, 824, 559, 159. Those 4 cars, bumpers go in, the clutter in there, and Finnegan sees a chance to go through. Looks like there's nobody out of the race just at the moment. One car does not appear to be parked up. One of the Nelsons, it looks like it is, but Finnegan, the new leader. 559, 824, 790, 159, 871, 188. There's Stuart Finnegan 55. Brian Shadbolt having the drive of his life in number 70. He's up there fighting it out with all these top drivers. But it's Finnegan now. Prefers to cut his way through the back markers. The first of those looks to be number 77, John Whittle. Finnegan the leader. Didn't get the best of starts, but he's in there now in pole position. A couple of cars spinning around in front of him. One of those looks to be Andy Ford, number 13. Finnegan's got a problem, almost blocked off there. Johnson sees a chance, bumper goes in. Good challenge there from Rob Johnson, 824. He knows he'll need to be on his best to perform to get past Finnegan. He's done just that as they exit that bend. 824, the new leader. 559, 790, 159. First, second, third and fourth, they're together. Finnegan goes wide. Taylor comes through into second position. We thought it'd be good, and it's proving to be that and more. Johnson is the new leader. A slow moving back marker in front of him, that's Andy Ford. Move over Ford, get the leaders come through. Johnson the leader, Taylor in second place and pressing. Finnegan's got a problem, he's dipped back into third, fourth position in fact as Lewin moves through. What a terrific job by Lewin in 159. Andy Ford will not move over. The leaders are trying to get past that driver. Andy Ford blocking every move as he shouldn't do. 824 comes in, one more challenge. Ford almost goes onto the infield. Goodness me, this is exciting stuff. Taylor doesn't challenge us yet, but he puts the bumper in there. Johnson is well to survive that one. Ford must have lead in them tyres because he's not moving over. Johnson, Lewin has a problem with Ford. He's spun around, so third place man has gone. Ford has taken a part in this race. And the leader is still 824, Rob Johnson from Stoke-on-Trent. Taylor, a very cool customer in second position, 790. I mean, up to half distance. Half distance. Half distance, Mr. Starter. This time around with the leader, 824, 790, 559. Finnegan, either there's something wrong with that car, or he's seen if the first two will make themselves a mistake. Lewin has retired. He lost an awful lot of time there with that tangle with number 13, Andy Ford. Dave Brennan, 68. He's the next of the back markers to be under pressure from the leaders. Taylor's now in front. First and second going sideways together. Taylor's been challenged, but he keeps hold of the lead, and it's Rob Johnson that's been spun around by Finnegan. So they're into the second half of the race. And the new leader, he's got himself a bit of a lead now, is 790.
Mark Taylor back in second place and some distance behind. Things aren't looking too good. Is Bert Finnegan, 5.59. There's Taylor, back marker Brennan, 5.59. Bert Finnegan is second. 55 Stuart Finnegan third, and Simon Panton is in fourth place. He'll be keen to get himself one of these top trophies on offer this evening, and to do that he needs to get past Stuart Finnegan. Adam Brand is a back marker, so too Sean Ward, 8.81. Taylor now got his toe hard down to the floor. He sees he's got himself a very good chance of winning this one. Johnson has retired to the infield. Simpson also sitting aboard the car. He's out of this one. He can fill it one more time. Now did he sit back in the early laps just to make sure he wasn't in there as the bumper was crashing in. Maybe that was his best tactic at the moment, although Finnegan does appear to be closing quite a little bit as they move into the second half of the race. Yes, very much so. Finnegan now is beginning to close. 5 laps to go next time. Terrific race this one, and it's not over yet because the leader has now got a number of slow moving back markers in front of him, and Finnegan with every lap is starting to close. Has he got it in him to close up? Taylor's got the problem to get through the back markers first of all. 2 cars touched there just in front of the leader. There's Taylor. He's trying to keep himself out of trouble. A big win this will be for the Lancashire-based driver. Whittle, 77. He's wide. In the wet stuff, number 9, Jamie Bagley. Got the brakes on there by the looks of things. He's blocking the leader, in fact. Bagley makes a bit of contact there with 7.9, and all of a sudden Finnegan is closed right up. 3 laps to go board has been shown to the leader. The flashing lights of Taylor in front of the top shower performer, 5.59 Bert Finnegan. These back markers are only the same the outcome of this race, there's no doubt to that. Darren Cottrell, 5.75, he's still going. Kitson, he hasn't made any progress. The 2 lap to go board now is shown to Taylor. Barry Scotland, ignore him, he's a back marker. Finnegan's in second place. Finnegan pushing as hard as he can into the turns, and there's a bit of a problem there for Finnegan as he makes contact with the 34 car. All the momentum has gone from Finnegan now. He's given his best shot, but I think he's losing ground over the last 2 laps of the race. Taylor starts his last lap. Finnegan is second place. Third is Stuart Finnegan, then Simon Panton, then Brian Shadbolt, 70. 242 Martin Heath, he's up there also. 68 Dave Brennan, 103 Carl Lizzie, they're amongst the leaders. But all eyes are now are looking on the leader as he comes around. 7.90 takes the checkered flag. A terrific drive there. Finnegan could do no more. Finishes in second place. Stuart Finnegan 55 in third. Simon Panton 188 finishes fourth. Still they screen past us in race control. Keep them going, Mr. Starter. 7.32 does Kitson. 2.28 Simon Ricketts. They complete the full race distance. Keep them going, please. Tailing Charlie's. Plenty of positions required. Still some back markers to complete their full race. And that'll do us, please. The red flags. What a terrific race that was. Super race there. The Formula 2 boys haven't disappointed. Must be a bit of a problem there between 95 and 34. That's no after the race incident. There. Sponsorship from Racers Hardware, Ward Landscape, MTech Racing and 2-bit Scaffolding. This year's 1, 2 and 3 in the 1997 World of Shales Series Final.
Stadium in Swindon with me, 559 Bert Finnegan, veteran campaigner, first in the Formula 1s, now in the Formula 2s. And I think this is the world final you've been waiting for, Bert, on shale.
Yeah, I prefer the shale, but I would prefer it a bit wetter than it is now, like, but we'll see how things go.
You have been dominating the season on shale this year, and didn't work quite out in your semi-final. You're probably a bit further back than you would expect.
Yeah, reflect the coin, of course, what happened. I got the tarmac, which we always seem to get somehow, but I survived. That was the main thing. It's like today, so just matter of sit and wait.
Do you think you can make early progress from the place where you're sitting now, bearing the track condition in mind?
Hopefully, yeah. Tell better when the first couple of races are over, but I've got an outside row. I'm hoping, you know, be in the first 6 places in first 4 or 5 laps, and then see how it goes then.
I mean, Shale is always a bit unpredictable with, you know, cars sliding all over the place. Do you think that will be to your advantage? Lots of mayhem on the track?
Hopefully, yeah, because it's to my advantage, because at the end of the day I'm used to the shale conditions and that. Hopefully I can read the race right. What time will tell, as we all know.
So you obviously are going for the Gold Roof. I see you've already got a gold chocker on your car.
Yeah, it would be nice, yeah. But hopefully, yeah, I'd like to be in the first 3 if nothing else, like. But I would definitely like a gold. But that would just make me from my Formula 1 days to my Formula 2 day then.
Well, you would be the first one to do so then.
Yeah, for a while. Dave Chisholm's done it, I believe. I don't know anybody else who's done it. So hopefully, keep my fingers crossed.
Okay, but thanks for talking to us, and good luck in the World Final.
All right then, thank you.
Okay, here for its debut on SCA video, it's front row man 732 Darren Kitson from Yorkshire. I think at the beginning of the season, Darren, you wouldn't have thought to be sitting on the front row of the World Final.
No, not really, but it's did a few things with new car, like, and it's paid off, like, so first 3 rows would have been alright, but ends up I'm up front, don't I?
It's also in Shale as well, this World Final, and that's probably a surface that favours you compared to the people around you.
Well, I think it'll be a lot more even a race, like, but you know, if it had been like on tarmac, they'd have probably just said Speaker's going to walk away with it, but I think it might be a little bit different today, like, but we'll see how it goes.
Does it give you a bit of stress that you now know that you're in there with a chance for the World Championship on the front row?
I suppose it does a little bit, but just get it over and done with, won't we?
What are you hoping for surface-wise? A dry track or a bit damp track? What would favour you?
Probably dry, I should imagine, with car being a tarmac car and being a bit light, so take it as it comes. See what happens, won't we?
Would you be disappointed if you would not win the race?
No, not really. I haven't got my hopes too high, so you don't get as much knockback then, do you, if you don't finish? Take it as it comes and then do it next race.
Have you ever thought of being the Formula 2 World Champion, travelling around the country with a gold roof, or has that not been a thought so far?
No, I've never really thought of it, like, I just wanted to come and be competitive and win a few races, like, and that's what I was doing, but ended up winning the semi, didn't I?
Okay, I wish you all the best, Darren, in the race.
Thank you.
Red line, racing developments. All the way down that back straight, nicely controlled. Everyone wondering now what's going to happen as these cars move slowly down there. Keep your eyes on Mr. Starter. Ladies and gentlemen, here at Birmingham Wills Raceway, let's get ready to rumble! And away they go, the flags down. Car number 732 leads in the initial stages as they go down that far side. Peter Gillis moves through in car number 542. Pat Milligan in third place in car number 559. We've got a couple of casualties, including Ivan Pritchard and Mike James stuck in the middle of that top turn there. Another way, and there's 2 more gone over on the far side. And there's another casualty down there, which looks like Chris Rooks in car number 677 and number 100. George McMillan. Meanwhile, the rest of them are spreading out very quickly around this rapid raceway indeed. Chris Roots gets restarted, 732. George McMillan's back in the fray as well as they come roaring through. And they're all spread out, all over the place. 732 and 542 in first and second places as they come out of the Birmingham end over the line. 732 and 542. Peter Gilbert in that second place. 658 is moving through there nicely as well. And Darren Gibson there is really, Dean Mason rather, really flying down that far side. He goes past McMillan with the Finnegan in fourth place and 599 as they come out of that turn. Just watch him go.
Barry Golding nicely placed as well in the early stages of this event, but over on that far side it's car number 732, that's the man, Darren Kitson, who's leading the pack, already pulling away a little bit from Pete Gilbert in car number 542, out of turn 4 and down they start finish line they go. Gilbert still in that second place from Dean Mason in third position in car number 658, then Barry Golding moving up by the look of it into fourth position in car number 401, Carl Lissett is up there in car number 103, McMillan was in trouble in the early stages, remember, and the reserve, car number 18, not the reserve, it's Mark Ginchard in fact in car number 183 who's got himself to a little bit of bother and lost some ground. He's being chased by the number 622 car of Darren Bingley, but over on that far side as they go down the railway end, the man who's leading the pack quite comfortably at this stage is that car driven by Darren Kitson, number 732. He's the man. From 542, Pete Gilbert in that second position, and then the 658 car of Dean Mason will be third, followed by Golden in car number 401, Bert Finnegan in 559, and Carlos in car number 658 in third position. So it's 732, 542 and 658. Then Barry Golden in car number 401, 742 and a brand about to pull off to the safety of the centre. Bert Finnegan still there in 559, so is Carlos in car number 103. Then car number 183. Mark Ginchard is there. Through they go again, and it's 732. He's the man. But look at this battle that's being developed for that second position now, as the 658 car moves up on Gilbert in car number 542. Around 3 and 4. But down the home straight away again. 732 is the man. 732. Darren Kitson. He leads from 542 in that second position. But look at this as Pete Gilbert goes out a little bit there. The man tries to get underneath him was Dean Mason in car number 658. But Gilbert shut the door very nicely on him and holds on to that second place into the home straight away. They come in. It's 732. He's still there from 542 and 658. The 732 car being driven very well indeed by Darren Kitson, who certainly is putting on a good performance. He's opening up a gap between first and second places. Gilbert is still there in car number 542 with the 658 car of Dean Mason in that third position, but Barry Golding's coming into the picture nicely in car number 401, and Bert Finnegan still in the flame very much so in car number 559. Then Carl Lissett in car number 103. That's the situation now by the look of it as they go down that far side, down the railway straight. It's still the 732 car of Darren Kitson who leads. 732, Darren Kitson from Dean Mason in car number 658, who's trying to get on the inside of Gilbert there, and he pushes Gilbert aside and moves up into second place. So it's car number 658 who has moved up into that second position, Dean Mason, but Gilbert is still there in car number 542, and indeed has a little nudge on the Birmingham end there at the back of the car immediately in front of him, then pulls away. Barry Golden's moved up nicely in car number 401, and Golden put himself in a good position there, and Gilbert goes a bit wide, and look at Golden, he seizes the opportunity with a quick burst of power on turns 1 and 2 and moves up a place. Still Kitson in car number 732, he's the man. Darren Kitson with 5 laps to go. Car number 732, Darren Kitson from 658, Dean Mason in that second place, and Barry Golden has powered his way into third position in car number 401. Pete Gilbert is still there in car number 542. Then comes Bert Finnegan in car number 559, and Carl Lissett in car number 103. Then a bit of a gap until he comes to car number 183 and 558 to 622. That's the position in the closing stages with 4 laps to go. It's Kitson in car number 732. He's the man who stamped his authority all over this one, but it's a gallant effort too from 658 Dean Mason, who is certainly now narrowing the gap each time round. Probably not enough time for him to get any closer unless anything untoward happens to Kitson. The 3-lap board goes out for Kitson with Mason in pursuit, car number 658, then Golden in car number 401. Oh, and look at that, just look at that, it's Gilbert who's fighting back nicely in car number 542, and he pushes Golden wide and moves up, but Golden fights back all the way down the back straight in an effort to get his third position back, and this time it's the Gilbert car who goes out wide, and Golden's come back underneath him in car number 401, and those two are really having a tussle, and is the compliment going to be returned again on that turn? Meanwhile it's Kitson in car number 732, he's the man over on the far side from the number 658 car of Dean Mason in that second place, but it's a ding-dong of a battle developing for third and fourth places between the 401, Barry Golden and Pete Gilbert in car number 542. However, we're now through into the closing stages of this event, and it's Kitson in car number 732 who looks all set to take it as he goes down the back straight away for the last time. 732, Darren Kitson in that first place from Dean Mason in car number 658 in that second position, round the third and fourth pen for the last time as the checker flag goes up, it comes down, and it's Kitson crosses the line in first place in 732 from Mason in 658, then Barry Golden in car number 401, Pete Gilbert in 542, probably Bert Finnegan in car number 559, and then could it be Conn Lissett in car number 103, and then a couple who had trouble in the early stages, so it could be 2. The 558, Darren Galshaw's up there, along with car number 183, Mark Ginchard. Those are just observations, nothing in the programme, ladies and gentlemen, as yet, but certainly little doubt about the man who crossed the line in first place, Darren Kitson from Huddersfield in car number 732. Red flags, red lights.
Jazz all the way from Huddersfield, and a journey well worth making here tonight. Your winner, Jazz Kitson.
his efforts worthwhile. 5-lap board being prepared. And it goes to Dave Branahan, car number 722. Foxhall now getting a little bit closer to the Branahan motor in car number 616. But Broomfield is not too far away either in car number 557, which could make things quite interesting and exciting. 722, 616 and 553, then 667 Tim Farrell. Down that far side and into the third and fourth turns they go. There's the lead car, and now Foxhall, is he going to make a late bid for this? It looks as if he might, and indeed Branahan has slipped out a little bit wide on turns 1 and 2. Broomfield's up there as well, and this is going to be close because Broomfield puts the bumper in on Andy Foxhall in an effort to move him aside. Now they're all bunching up on this turn as the last lap board goes out, and it could be anybody's race. Just look at them go, because it's Broomfield who's forced away to the head, and then it's all happening. And it's Tim Farrell who's gone into the lead right on the very last lap, but they're going to wind it up on that turn. In goes the bumper there, and who's going to get it through there? It's going to be close, but it's 667 Tim Farrell who takes it from Dave Branahan in car number 722, and Andy Foxhall, I reckon, in car number 7. What a way to finish it. Just look at this little lot. Oh dear, what happened down there? Mixed order in car number 152. Getting yourself involved there with 732. Darren Kitson right in front of race control. Looks as if the driver's all okay. We're keeping an eye on that, and the marshals are down there, but that was quite a way to finish, and just look at the state of that car. The driver is safely out, ladies and gentlemen. He's all okay. Well, it's good to see Darren Kitson there, number 732 involved in that one, which looked pretty horrific because it happened right in front of us here, but the driver's all okay, and that's the main thing. Cars can be repaired. It's not so easy as far as drivers are concerned. Mick Saura's come around actually.
Here we've got the New Zealand competitor in this year's Formula 2 World Final, and that's Stan Hickey. Stan, this is what a Formula 2 looks like. Have you ever seen these cars before in the UK?
In the last couple of years we've had a brief look at them, but haven't really watched them a lot racing.
Is there any Formula in New Zealand that can be compared to a Formula 2?
Not really, but I think it'd be a good class to start up over there.
What do you think is the car going to feel like with only like limited power? It's only a 2-litre Ford engine compared to like the big Chevys that you've been racing so far during your stay.
I don't know, it should be quite a challenge. No, I think it'll be quite good. And, you know, they look nice, light, easy cars to drive, hopefully.
I mean, you've done the New Zealand World Championship, you've done the Long Track World Championship in Holland. You will be doing the one at Coventry next week, so all in all you've done 4 World Championships this year. So that's a very special achievement.
Yeah, it would have been, but we didn't quite get out to race in Holland at Long Track. It was a bit disappointing, but that's motor racing. Yeah, it would have been good to do the whole 4 in 12 months, which I don't think anyone else has done before, but that's the way it is.
What are you expecting of the race you are going to enter in a minute?
I don't know, it should take a half lap to get the feel of the car, and then we're just starting off the back, so we're just going to try and work our way through and hopefully finish it and get a place somewhere.
Okay, we wish you all the best in this race, Stan.
Thank you very much.
Next to me is one of the Dutch entrants in the World Final race, and that's last year's European champion, 24 Willy Peters. Willy, het is alweer de zoveelste WK voor jou weer in Engeland. Altijd een prachtige ervaring om erbij te zijn.
Ja, dat kun je wel zeggen, ja. Het is nou net, het enige nadeel voor ons is dat het nou central is. En ik had liever gehad dat het gewoon asfalt was geweest, dan hadden we iets beter uit de voeten gekend.
For him it's a fantastic experience to be here in the World Final. Unfortunately he says it's a bit unlucky for us that's on shale. He would have preferred tarmac because we don't have a shale venue in the Netherlands. Het is altijd aanpassen hier op Sintel, vooral omdat we in Nederland geen Sintel circuits hebben. Hoe bereid je er daar eigenlijk op voor?
Nou, het enige geluk wat wij een beetje hebben is met John Mikkel, die heeft er wel eens vaker gereden. En die zegt dan wat we moeten doen in de auto's en zo. En dat scheelt toch wel een stuk. Dan kunnen we toch iets beter uit de voeten komen. Anders lukt het helemaal niet. Maar, trainen mag ook niet, dus dat is shit eigenlijk.
Practice is not readily available for him. He's getting a lot of help from John Mickle setup wise, so he doesn't go out on track completely without preparation. Ja, hoe denk je dat de race gaat verlopen? Hoop je op een finish? Top 10 misschien?
Nou, ik hoop op een finish. Maar meer durf ik er ook niet over te zeggen, want het is heel... Ja, het is een sintelbaan en als je dan weer links en rechts hoort, dan de echte sintelmannen, wie normaal zoals Bert Vinneken en zo, ja, die kunnen hier ook weer niet goed uit de voeten komen. En de anderen zeggen weer, het is net hetzelfde als een asfaltbaan. Dus ik weet het niet, ik durf er eigenlijk helemaal niks van te zeggen. Nee.
It's a bit of a strange circuit, Willie says. He's heard that it's a mix between shale and tarmac. Even the British drivers have difficulties around here, but he's hoping for a finish. That's all he can say really, and hope for the best. Ik wens je heel veel succes in de WK en ik hoop dat je hem rijdt.
Bedankt. Oké.
Dat is nummer 41, Arno 40. Dan nee, moet ik los kijken. Mensen hier staan. Arno 40 van Roorbergen. Ja, van Hollander, van Roor. Hey. Twee Englanders. Zo komt er nog een einde. Nee. Colleman. Ondersteut dan nog 27. En dan komt nog een even stil there from the number 4 car in 4th position at the moment. Davis under a little bit of pressure because he knows there's any kind of mistake and that man immediately behind him will be after they go down there. Mickle in car number 4 pulling away from Slocum, so it's 3:27 and he's gone wide, so we've got a change and Mickle's going to go through as well, and third, second and third go underneath the start blockers, go heading up the home straight into turns 1 and 2, and we've got a whole heap of race
Do better than 95 when he crashed at Wingwood in the 95 World Final as the Consolation semi-winner Colin Dunford from Wellingborough. Well, what do you think of the weather now, Colin? Because it's just started to rain at Swindon.
It's only a little shower, that'll soon go. I hope it does, because we're really sort of like bit better weather drivers, you know, so don't expect too much from the back. A lot to get through. Bloody good drivers, obviously. No, we'll just enjoy the day, see how it goes. So.
You don't race regularly in the UK these days, but when you race you are performing very well. I mean, you got onto the podium in the European Championship at Northampton. Do you think a repeat could be possible today?
Bit unlikely, a long way back. Be nice to think so. I mean, European was brilliant. I mean, that was an excellent race. It just goes to show that you don't have to have a fortune in the cars like some of them. You know, we haven't. I mean, me and Graham made a little observation earlier today. How many other cars can you say that are here today that were in the 95 World Final? I mean, exactly the same car, no changes, you know, engine perhaps different, but the car, chassis, all the same. You know.
I think you were very surprised to win the Consolation semi at Barford.
Very surprised. I mean, we got there really late, wrong diff. We go out and it is like just all come together. Absolutely, totally pleased. I mean, Scott Carstairs, big hit, about 3 laps to go. Couldn't move us, thank God. And that was it. So, and then picked it up. Well chuffed. I think the promoter was well chuffed as well, because we had a good qualifying round early in the year, and he was well pleased that we made the effort to go all the way up there. And I mean, Crispin Rosebear seems to think Poor Travellers. Okay, yeah, Poor Travellers, but if you haven't got the money to go everywhere, how can you go everywhere? And I'm afraid his assumption of people are very much mistaken, you know.
All what racing is about is having fun, and you certainly did that at Barlow last month, where you also competed.
Yeah, we had fun, very ill on Saturday, food poisoning we think. Managed to get myself a little bit better for Sunday, went out only to blow an engine, so it was like wasn't really supposed to go all the way to Holland, I don't think. But obviously, place nice, people, great fun. You know, had a good time. Really worth going.
What's the rest of the season going to bring for you plan-wise? What are you intending to do after this race?
It'll be just mainly concerning with Brayfield again, because they're in sort of like all the runnings for the championships that are going on there with the Debbies and the Motorcare, and possibly even, I don't know how far I'm up in the track, so that's obviously we've got to look at that a bit. But other than that, that's what we've got to do now. We haven't really got any major aims of anything else, you know. So unfortunately Crispin isn't going to see me all over the place, so that's going to have to be.
Okay, come on, thanks for your time and all the best in the World Final.
Thanks very much, fans. Good to talk to you.
So they say it's more beautiful, it's certainly is the opening round here this afternoon. there. Now, our leading car is Stuart Finnegan, Riley. So 55, coming past you now. What's 6-1? 5, 7, 5, 6, 3, 1, 3, 54, 1, and 7, 4, but it's car 55. And yellow flag, please, Mr. Starter, yellow flag, please. So yellow flag, Mr. Starter, and your leading car is 55, 5, 7, 5, 54, and 7, 3, 1. 55, 55, your lead car. 55, your lead car. 55, just coming towards the commentary start line now. We're on 12. We get the green, so thanks over to you, Kevin, again. So 55 from 3 and 6 now. 575. So 55 still there. 575. 711 trying to come up and coming up to the third place there. 54 lovely and 4. Hanging on in that lead position with Stuart Finnegan. 55 from 575 in second place. Problems there, 3 and into the barrier. Tyres go to screen 95742. So those out of it for the moment. Action all the way at Swindon this afternoon. 55 still there with Stuart Finnegan. 575 still in second place with Darren Bovril. 771 in third. 161 pulls off and does a lovely little pirouette there. But 55 still hanging on to that lead with Stuart Finnegan. As the checker flag is raised and down. A runner on Heathrow. 55. 575. Straight to red, please, now please. Straight to red, thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have full race results for you in just a moment or two. Thank you. So from a full field of cars there, we have finishers on that one.
Just to interrupt the lineup, let's just have a quick announcement, please, for GMP promoter Mr. Gordon McDougall. That's Gordon McDougall to bring the trophy to the start-finish line, please. We're getting them underway very sharpish indeed. Just time to go down the lineup with number 9 Jamie Bagley, 180, Daniel Ward, 301, 881 is Sean Ward, 414 is Mark Veal, and 202 Robbie Dukes, 585 Mick Berry, 851 Gary Smith, and 140 is the Stuart Haywood. Yeah, we'll give it a round. 362 Johnny Hall leading the Blues with 432, 798 Simon Sargent, 68 Dave Brennan. Your Reds to look out for in this one, 717 Mike James, 67 is Tim Farrell, and 824 the Shell expert of Rob Johnson. We're away in racing in this 16 racing lap, so heat number 2 for the Formula 2s here on World Final Day. And 446 is away into the lead for the first time. That's Matt Metcalf leading them through. There's a little de-winged machine, looking like a Hickman of a number of seasons ago. We're a little slow on the start though, keeping them under the yellow. And hence the reason, the big crash up there, right in front of the home straight. Tangling out 7 Simon Simon Sargent is 7.98 and 68 Dave Brennan. So keeping them held under the yellow. And we'll try it again for the second time in Bristol. Time to have a look at those blue tops very quickly. And 7.11, John Plant, who went very well at the Sheffield qualifier earlier this season. Alongside him, driving his former Mark Taylor machine, is Alan Skeggy Skaman. Johnny Hall, the one we aforementioned before, in 3.62. Simon Sargent towards the back of the Blues in 7.98, 68 Dave Brennan in what can only be best described as the flying bread van this afternoon. Then the triple of Star Graders this afternoon, 7.17, Mike James, a long-established veteran in both Formula 1 and Formula 2 stock cars. Alongside him from Stoke-on-Trent, 8.24, Rob Johnson, and at the back is the young Mr. Farrell, 6.67, Tim Farrell, sponsored by Lipton Vale. On the roller for the second time of asking. And away we go racing in heat number 2. Let's see if Mr. Metcalf can break away for the first time as he thundered down the home straight. Already the track beginning to dry out, and Peter Ross is the one who establishes that lead for the first time, moving into turn 1. And Andy Barnard power sliding a little bit too wide there, but trying to keep on the grip. Number 9, Jamie Bagley, makes the first charge from the yellow grade as John Plant gets into all sorts of trouble, flipping the infield, and 3.62 Johnny Ball getting in there as well as Dave Brennan tries to get his way clear. The red grade is certainly built by that traffic as they move through turns 1 and 2. As the lead drivers move through once again in a battle for the lead in this early stage as Peter Ross comes under a lot of pressure from 131, Andy Barnard. And this is allowing Jamie Bagley in car 9 to really reel them in now as they thunder down the far side. 1 half lap ahead of the pursuing Star Graders as they try and reel them into these 16 laps in heat number 2 this afternoon. The top 3 all together as they go into turn 1 once again. The number 9 Jamie Bagley, a perfectly timed manoeuvre, putting the white grader of Peter Ross straight into the fence. So onto the far side they go with number 9 Jamie Bagley leading from 131, Andy Barnard. Then we have 5.85 in third place from 4.14 Mark Vail. So the white and yellow still holding station as John Plant tries to get back into the action. Here he comes power sliding through out of turn 4. John Plant, 7.11 in a very immaculate looking HCD flyer. Sponsored by BriSCA Auto Repairs, and he's really cooking it a little bit there out to the apex of turn 1 and 2. And from the stars, 8.24, Rob Johnson beginning to wind it up as he goes down the far side of 1.77. Alan Skaman has blown that 2-litre Pinto engine, as you can see, with a flurry of steam coming out of that one. Either the top hose has gone or it's something more serious. But on the far side, there's the man flying into turn number 3, your lead driver in heat number 2 this afternoon here at Swindon. Car 9, Jamie Bagley leading it as signalled. As he passes some of those stricken blue toppers on the turn of 1 and 2. 4.32 and 3.62 John Ball in the fence. So number 9 with about a third of the lap lead ahead of 5.85 in second place. And that's Mick Berry. 4.14 Mark Vail third. Then a battle for third place as Danny Ward puts that bumper in very hard on Andy Barnard. It's a perfectly designed manoeuvre and he moves up into the top 4. John Plant also on his way through as he goes down the home straight once again. And to recap once more, it's number 9 Jamie Bagley with the big lead ahead of Mick Berry in 5.85. Then 4.14 Mark Vail, 1.80 Daniel Ward, and 7.11 John Plant. And it's going to be halfway next time, please, Mr. Starter. Halfway next time. The easy lead driver having gone through with 5.85 in second place. A battle on between the 3 drivers for third, and Daniel Ward goes very late indeed into turn 1, and Mark Vail takes the opportunity to nip on by, followed by John Plant. Now then, where's the red grey drivers? Well, here comes 8.24 Rob Johnson moving into third now. Into the third turn, I should say. Power sliding under the side of Mick Sayer in 3.01, and he's really beginning to catch the traffic in quite a significant manner. Although the yellow grey driver gets one back on Rob Johnson, pushes him wide into the fence on turn 2, but the red grader from Stoke-on-Trent recovers rather well. And all the time, the big battle for what is no less 6 drivers involved for second place indeed. Over half a lap in arrears from the lead driver, number 9 Jamie Bagley, who's approaching out of turn 4 now. There he goes, as signalled by Mr. Starter. It will be 5 to go next time, please. 5 to go next time for your lead driver, number 9, Jamie Bagley. Where are the second drivers? Here they are, 585. Mick Berry leading from 711, John Plant. Here comes Rob Johnson and Matthew Sayer now really having a great battle for 4th place. And the star man getting the better of the B grader, followed through by 180, Daniel Ward. Things beginning to settle down at last as they move to the latter stages of heat number 2, sponsored by Racers Hardware and HCD. And it really has been a walkover. Fingers crossed for number 9, Jamie Bagley, as he's signalled once again by Mr. Starter as the lead driver. Number 9, clear by a long margin. The battle is raging for second place though, half a lap behind, and moving through at this late stage, 711, John Plant. 585, Mick Berry down to 3rd. 4th is 301, 5th 180, then comes Tim Farrell at this late stage in 677. So the surprise retiree from that race, while handily placed, was 824 Rob Johnson. As we see the 2 lap to go board this time for Jamie Bagley in car 9, and indeed closing in on the tail ender of 667 Tim Farrell. 9 exactly, half a lap in the lead ahead of 711 John Plant, 585 Mick Berry, 301 Matthew Sayer, 180 Daniel Ward, and 667 Tim Farrell. And Bagley now cruising through, confident and not really beginning to power slide out in any great degree or margin. He's down to the 3rd turn for the final time. Managed to establish that lead very early in heat number 2, and here he is, ladies and gentlemen, to win the second heat this afternoon. Number 9, Jamie Bagley, winning from the yellow grade. Coming through over the line, we're looking for the second place man, and here he is. Well, up to 10 seconds behind, right margin between 1st and 2nd. 711 John Plant ahead of 585, 301, 667, 180. And then the first of the lap down men, 881 Sean Ward, and 202 Robbie Dukes. Those purely just observations at this stage, and the confirmed results will follow shortly. Right, we have red flags. Jumping on the back of the pace car provided by Incrace this afternoon, it'll be over to Mike Carpentry.
World champion. Rob Speak, I suppose, he's got to be the favourite, but he's got to get around the first bend, and you never know what's going to happen when the green flag goes. Who else do you think will be the danger man in that big race a bit later on? Depends. If they water the track, you can't discount Bert Finicum, but like I say, it's the first bend, and depends what Des Kitson does.
Des Kitson certainly could be a very important factor in that race.
Certainly, yeah. Depends whether he tries to go then down the outside, or whether he's trying to stick him behind rather than pushing wide on the bend. You never know. It's going to be down to the 30 seconds, I suppose, when the flag goes.
Coming in here for race winner number 9, Jamie Bagley. Now, Jamie, you've now qualified yourself for the grand final a bit later on, where the Jerry Dunnett Memorial Trophy will be up for grabs. Do you think you're going to have a good chance in that one?
You never know. Just keep your fingers crossed, and we'll see.
Congratulations, Jamie Bagley. Can I have a big round of applause, please, as we come round the big stone. Winner of heat number 2, number 9, Jamie Bagley.
Okay, we get the green away, and here we are. It's race 3, heat 3, Formula two stock cars, and 4-3-1 leading away with Andy Gibbs. Already getting into a little bit of a knocking section, and already pranging down on the first bend there with cars going every which way but loose. Well, in fact, loose is possibly a good way to sum them up. Meanwhile, right at the back with everything to do is 661 Merv Mags, but we still have leading them round after lap 1, 4-3-1, 761. Woods in second place, then 2-1-9. And just seeing why everything's slowed down a little bit, but the pedals going to the metal now as 87 gets past and goes down to 4th place. So it's looking a little bit slippery out there. Have they overdone it with the Bowser? I ask myself. I'm not too sure. But 4-3-1 hanging on to that lead position as we speak. So it's 4-3-1 from 2-1-9. 7-6-1 rather. No, it's not. It's 1-7-0 now in second place, I do believe. So 4-3-1 hanging on to that lead as we speak. And what a lead he has got as well. Already coming to overtake back marker 661 and Merv Mags, who's obviously finding a little bit heavy going here this afternoon. Still there, 4-7-1, still hanging on to that lead position as the numbers start getting a little bit dirty with the mud being kicked up in these guys' eyes all the time. But 4-3-1 from 7-6-1, then 1-7-0 in third place. So 1-7-0 hanging on to that third place as we speak with Mark Hellywell from Bolton. So the car's starting to slow down a little bit of anything, but they're certainly pacing themselves out, and there's not a lot of action going on as far as contact is concerned as we come into lap number 6 of this 16-lap event, with 4-3-1 tiptoeing around, and it's looking as though it's like marbles out there this afternoon for this race. Heat 3 for the Formula 2s here this afternoon. 4-3-1 still hanging on to that lead, doing a sterling job with Andy Gibbs from Rugby behind the wheel. 1-7-0, 7-6-1, 7-9-0 and 2-1-9. I do believe it is as we come to lap number 7 out of 16 here this afternoon. But 4-3-1, we're out, and it's halfway next time, Kevin, please, with your leading driver almost opposite you now as we get a yellow top going into the fence off the commentary straight. 4-3-1 coming round the top bend now towards you, Mr. Starter. We're out in the lead from 1-7-0 now into second place, with Mark Halliwell from Bolton. So 1-7-0, approximately a third of a lap down from our race leader 4-7-1 and Andy Gibbs from Rugby. So it looks as though when anything else really happens badly, it's going to be Andy all the way to the checkered flag, because certainly second place driver 761 smoking all over the place. Comes down past the common straight, and 761 pulls off onto the infield. His race is run. We don't know if it's a top hose gun or whatever, but there's certainly something quite serious under the bonnet not working as it should be. And it's 5 to go this time round, please, Kevin. 5 laps to go. Still race leader there. 4-3-1 as 5-3-4 not only kisses but goes straight into the rope work, and he will not be coming out of there in a hurry. So the track's starting to dry out a little bit as it does, so the speed's increasing somewhat. And 4-3-1. 4-3-1 still hanging on to that lead. So 5-3-4, he's certainly well in it at the moment. 1-7-0 still holding second place with Mark Henneville from Bolton. Third place 70 with Brian Shadbolt from Evesham. 2 laps left now, this time round for race leader 431 Andy Gibbs, who I believe is going to hang on all the way round now, because second place driver 170 is almost half a track away from our leading driver, who completes his final lap as I speak. And all he's got to do is keep out of the way. Okay, he's been overtaken by back marker 790 with Mark Taylor and back up, but he's a lap down, so that's not in the running. So coming through to the checkered flag this time round, it is Andy Gibbs with 431. The checkered flag being up and down now. We're calling please for 170, and through he comes. Okay, keep him going, Mr. Starter. We've got a little while to go yet, a few more numbers to come across the line. Keep them coming please, Mr. Starter. We'll have the full race results for everybody in just a moment or two. Okay, when you're ready please, thank you.
Explain to you what's going on here as the cars make their way out onto the circuit for this year's World Championship. The vintage Formula 2 stock cars of the early 60s in the liveries of the first BriSCA Formula 2 stock car world champion 163 Roy Goodman, and one of the FFS characters of the 60s, pioneering the sport of Formula 2 in those days, the one and only Keith Barber. Man who used to drive 422. Those two vintage stockers will be parading ahead of this afternoon's World Championship qualifiers, and we want to make sure that you guys out there really do get the atmosphere for. Cars out onto the infield in perfect grid order for the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 Stock Car World Championship, as sponsored by Avon Tyres in association with Anderson Racing Engines and Motoring News. Those cars looking as well prepared as they'll ever be for this season's stock car racing. And as the grid begins to formulate its dummy position out there onto the infield, we will be awaiting the drivers themselves to come out to greet them to you, the crowd, this afternoon on the top of the pace truck that will be shortly coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are coming out on the pace truck this afternoon. Make sure that you make your intentions known as to whom you really want to win this big one this afternoon here at Swindon. Those of you with the air horns, start tooting them now, because we want to get some noise, we want to get some atmosphere, we want to get some feeling and emotion in the stadium this afternoon for the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 Stock Car Championship of the World. And those of you can see out on the truck there, give them a big cheer please for those big drivers out there for the sport of BriSCA Formula 2 stock cars, going for his 7th world title this afternoon. The defending title holder from Manchester is, of course, 218 Rob Speak. Alongside him on the grid this afternoon will be the man from Huddersfield who's had a real purple patch of form throughout the summer, the man with the famous pink liveried machine 732, Daz Kitson. He really is a man to not mess with his metal. Certainly a forceful driver with the front bumper when it's required, and he's certainly not ashamed to use it. And we have from Lancaster, the Lancaster Bomber on inside row 2 this afternoon, and that is 658 Dean Mason Jr. That's Ian Thompson from Cumlin in County Antrim, driver who races regularly during the week in the Northern Ireland province, and certainly a regular race winner at the likes of Nuts Corner. Willy Peters from Nijmegen in the Netherlands. Driving car H24 is going to be on outside of row 4 this afternoon. From Liscard in Cornwall is 5:42 Peter Gilbert. Alongside him 1:52 Stevenage's Mick Sauder. Again, 2 drivers very effective with the front bumper. Specialist on the Shale 5:59 former British champion Bert Finnegan from Leek in Staffordshire. So
pole position is the 6-time and defending world champion. What's the strategy going into this one?
No matter what the strategy is, done it. It comes through at the end. That's how you got to do. Try and be there in the middle, innit?
Now who's going to be the main danger men for you to watch out?
All these behind.
End of the race, who's going to be world champion?
Don't know, you can't say that till the last lap, can you?
Good luck to 218 Rob Speak. Front or outside, all the way from Huddersfield, number 732 Daz Kitson. And are you happy with your start position, Daz?
That's better than being at back, innit?
Would you prefer to have been on the inside?
Take it as it comes and get on with it.
Then what kind of strategy are you going to be putting into effect in this race?
Put my foot down and up best.
Good luck then to the man who will start on the front or outside, number 732 Daz Kitson. We now move on to 6:58, the Lancaster bomber, Dean Mason. And Dean, you've got the man in front of you, the defending champion. Is that going to be a big problem for you in this race? What kind of strategy are you going to use?
Thinking one.
658, the Lancaster bomber. One of the local drivers in this world final, number 642, Dave Luscombe. And a second place finish for you at Skegness. Are you happy with your grid position going into this big race?
I'd be a lot happier if I was on the inside, but yeah, I think it's okay.
What do you think your chances are going to be in this one?
I think survival of the first 5 laps will be the main thing, and after that I really don't know.
Who do you think will be the main danger men?
Well, obviously Speaky. I think Bert Finnegan's going to come through quickly. Mixed water, don't know.
Good luck then to the 642 machine of Dave Luscombe. We now move on to another one of our northern drivers in this big race, number 401, Barry Golding. Now Barry, you were here at August the 23rd when the track was covered in rain. It was a bit slippery and slidey. So do you think that's going to help you? Going to help your chances in this race this afternoon?
I think the chances are you've just got to get around the first corner with 4 wheels on and keep going. If you just keep going, you're going to be in with the place. But I don't know about a win. You have to go at the start, I think.
What do you think your chances are going to be?
So you have to 25 laps.
Good luck then to 401, Barry Golding. We're going to see if we can get a word with the man on the second row on the outside, a 3-time former world champion. He was the race winner in 1977, 1981, in 1982. Let's hear it for 167, Bill Batten. Inside, not a big plus to your challenge. Yeah, it's not too bad a place to be, is it? What do you think your chances are going to be in this one?
Well, providing everybody else crashes, it should be pretty good.
Who do you think will be the main danger men?
Well, the man who's on the front's normally the man that wins, so we'll see what happens today.
Good luck then to 167, and that is Bill Batten. The big hitters in the world of BriSCA Formula 2 stock car racing. Let's hear it for 152, Mick Sauder. Now Mick, what do you think your chances are going to be being on show? You're not a regular shower man, so do you think that's going to be a big factor for you in this big race?
Well, you just have to wait and find out and see what happens.
Who do you think will be the main danger men?
Bill Batten.
Bill Batten for Mick Sauder. He's going to be one he's going to be keeping his eye on. And now one of the big favourites going into this race. Is anyone here supporting the mighty Finn 559, Bert Finnegan? But you certainly got 1 or 2 supporters here this afternoon. What do you think your chances are going into this big race?
I'm hoping to get in the first 3, but you never know the dryness of the track and that night.
Who do you think will be the main danger men?
Got to be Rob as usual.
Are you happy with the weather conditions, or would you prefer it to be a bit wet?
I would have preferred it a bit wetter.
Good luck then to 559, and that is Bert Finnegan. Behind him, another shower regular. Have we got any fans here for 188? Simon Panton. Simon, another shower regular. Do you think you've got a good chance in this world final?
Well, a minute, everybody's got a chance, who's in it?
Who do you think's going to be the main danger man? So then Simon Panton looks like we're about to get underway. The 1998 BriSCA 42 Stock Car Championship of the World is the next race on the programme. We are ready to go. Rob Speak and Daz Kitson to lead the round. It's going to be one slow warm-up lap, and then we're going to be away racing with the big one in 1998. The drivers now moving into their grid positions, and this certainly is going to be a classic race. Rob Speak and Daz Kitson to lead the round. We can now say back to you live in race control for the start of the 1998 BriSCA 42 Stock Car Championship of the World.
So after that tremendous wind-up by Michael Coventry on the infield, the line-up now coming together as we get ready for the start of the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 Stock Car Championship of the World, with defending title holder 218 Rob Speak out there on pole position. The action man alongside him, the Elite 732 Daz Kitson. Row 2 with 658 the Lancaster Bomber Dean Mason. The ever smooth veteran 642 Dave Luscombe, 167 Bill Batten, 401 Barry Goldin. Those are your top three lines in the World Championship lineup. 901 Ian Thompson Jr. H24 is Ville Peters, 542 Peter Gilbert, 152 Mick Soda, 99 Steve Dakin. The Shale Specialist, watch him go, 559 Bert Binnikin, 103 Carl Issett, 188 Simon Panton, Henk Peters, H25, 940 from Northern Ireland is Davy McCrory, 141 Quinton Mackay, 558 Darren Gauchall, 183 Mark Gunchard, 464 Robin Drysdale, 77 Chris Roots, 25 Graham Moore, 64 Brian Kinraid, row 13 occupied by 622 Darren Bingley, 613 Ian Serple, 1485 Colin Dunford, 121 Lee Gunchard, 596 Scott Carstairs, 879 Mick Rothwell, H29 Cole Shutter, 918 Rob Johns, and at the back for John Mickle and NZ11 Stan Hickey. They're under starters orders, we're getting ready, and we are go in the 1998 BriSCA Championship of the World for Formula 2 stock cars. And 218 Rob Speak gets the grip, he gets the dive, and he's away as disaster for 732 Daz Kitson, the row 1 starter, out of contention already as we go onto the far side with world champion Rob Speak on his way once again as he did at Cowdenbeath last year. Barry Golden, the obstacle on the approach to the home straight, but Rob Speak firing away in that all-gold machine, that elite machine, fighting away clear from 658 Dean Mason and 642 Dave Luscombe. 901 Ian Thompson Jr. in 4th, from 167 Bill Batten in 5th. Into the 6th we have 559 Bert Binnikin. A spinner out on turn 1 is 183 Lee Gunchard as the race leader, world champion Rob Speak flies on through, but Dave Luscombe into second place now, beginning to reel him in, and Bill Banton has gone on turn 2. The old veteran is out of it in the 1998 Championship of the World for Formula 2 stock cars, as the world champion Rob Speake comes through once again to lead. 218 into the traffic, passing the 434 car of Ivan Pritchard into a back down position, and it's 218 your leader from 642. Dave Luscombe trying to reel him in. We have yellow flags out on the raceway, yellow flags already in the early laps of this world championship, and Bill Banton, the car spun on turn 2, and we're looking to check if everything is a-okay. So lead car, Rob Speake out there on the far side from 642. Dave Luscombe second. We have the gaggle of back markers out there before we come to the third place driver, 658 Dean Mason, and then 901 from Northern Ireland, Ian Thompson. 559 on the far side again. Bert Finnegan in contention. The shale specialist is there in the top 5 from 152 Mick Sorter and 335 Mark Wool. Change. We have the situation in which we try and make a clear line, but Rob Speake, always an absolute perfectionist when it comes to a start or a restart. Certainly accomplished plenty of those in many seasons, as the race wall fans from Scotland here this afternoon will appreciate, who anticipate and effect a restart in a way that is suitable right for him. He can anticipate that start and get the better of many of his race rivals. But Luscombe, in those early laps of that world final so far, certainly not overawed by Speake. And indeed, it could be said that he was beginning to reel him in just a little bit. And I'm sure that those race fans of you out there from the West Country this afternoon will have your hearts in your mouth as you see the tension, feel the atmosphere, and perhaps Luscombe, the winner back in 1987 at Skegness on a rain-soaked night over on the East Coast tarmac as it was then, did it? Could he do it again? And indeed, he gives Speake a little tap of the bumper to get him going, but could it be there to outpsych the world champion, sponsored by Anson's Racing Engines as well? 218 Rob Speake, the defending world champion, going for the world title for the 7th time this afternoon, with the man who won it back in 1987 right there with him on his back bumper. The Lancaster bomber, 658 Dean Mason, is third. Ian Thompson Jr. in the former Speake car. 559 Bert Finnegan. Don't discount Bert. Won world title back in 1990 at Bradford Stadium. Knows how to handle the shale with 9 litres of engine power under his right foot. And now in the sport of BriSCA Formula 2, certainly the most competitive sport of UK oval racing. He could take the advantage, but look at this. We are goal once again, and Luscombe is there, fighting through on the inside there, neck and neck, down the home straight, and the 642 Dave Luscombe is the new race leader in the world final this afternoon. It's 642 Dave Luscombe, and look at him go in that Colin Hickman chassis, away and racing clear from defending world title holder 218 Rob Speake, who overcooks it just a bit into turn number 4. 642 from 218, 658 Dean Mason. And we have yellow flags please, Mr. Starter. A tangle out there involving 99 Steve Deakin and Ian Thompson Jr. 183 Mark Gunshard is there as well, as we try and bring them down to walking pace speed. These drivers are really up for it this afternoon. It's going to take some time to really cool them down, but we have a little bit of a problem out there once again, as the normally immaculate car of Steve Deakin is out there minus an inside rear wheel, and Deakin's race in the 1998 World Championship is run, and we're looking to clear that car from the circuit. But there we are on the pit turn, where the atmosphere is. The Southwest is really having their hearts in their mouths, as Dave Luscombe Well, he looked like he was capable of doing it, but at the moment he's stolen that lead from the defending world title holder 218 Rob Speak. 6'5", Dean Mason, the man representing the northwest of England in the competitive places here this afternoon, and the likes of those guys from Bolton and Lancashire and Bury really looking to see if Mason can bring it home to the northwest this afternoon if Rob Speak doesn't. But now 5.59, Bert Finnegan, the man from Leek in Staffordshire, twice British title holder in the sport of Formula 2 stock cars, is right there as well. Certainly a man who can't be discounted. He's the leader of the points at Swindon Stadium in 1998, and he certainly has the capacity and the ability to take this race this afternoon. 4.34, Ivan Pritchard is a lap down, but Mick Sorter is there in 1.52 from 103 Carl Issett. And there we are, right away again, and Luscombe gets the dive into turn 3, but here comes Speak with a late lunge. And here we go, down the straight once again, and Rob Speak is going to wind it up, and get the bumper in. The crowd is going absolutely wild, and Rob Speak gets that lead back in the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 Championship, and Luscombe is back again. And neck and neck, could they take each other out? Oh, and just look at Luscombe, nearly loses it there as they come up the back marker of 918 Rob Johns. He's Speak on a roll, once again trying to make it clear this is the type of race that he loves the best, the one that brings him the best challenge. It's the World Championship, and Speak, he could be on his way. So Rob Speak the leader from 6.42 Dave Luscombe, and Mason is gone. 6.58 Mason is out of it. And yellow flag please, Mr. Starter, yellow flag please once again as we come to the assistance of what looks to be Rob Drysdale in 4.64, the Scottish-based Kinlassie driver, requiring assistance as we come to see him on the far side. The picture changes again. If yellow flags can assist the anticipation and the suspense of a BriSCA Formula 2 World Championship, well, it's perfectly illustrated here. And Speak, the man who gets back at Luscombe after the second restart, he's there leading it with Bert Finnegan. I told you to look out for Bert, the man who knows how to race the shale, right there in second place. 6.42, Dave Luscombe. Certainly don't discount Dave. Come on, you guys from the West Country, show your support for Luscombe. And he's there in third place. 1.52, Mick Sorter fourth. 1.03, Carl Issett is there. 6.58, Dean Mason. Looks like he's out of it. So thankfully Rob Drysdale is out of his car A-OK, and hopefully out there unassisted. We hope that Rob is alright after that little bit of a shaky incident which clearly caused this race suspension for the second time. And what could be going through the mind of world champion Rob Speak? Certainly knows how to handle these high-powered situations, cool as he can ever be, but one man who certainly knows how to be equally cool. He certainly knows how to be at the top of the sport. Bert Finnegan won the world title at Bradford Stadium in the mighty Formula Ones back in 1990. He's also been in the long distance past their national points champion in 1983, and now here made the switch in the early 90s to Formula 2 and has been equally as successful. Could he make it count against Speak this afternoon?
In second place, not 5.59.
as you can see, just to explain to you, ladies and gentlemen, it has been deemed by the steward of the meeting that Bert Finnegan, in fact, unwittingly overtook as the yellows came out. So prior to the restart of this race, Luscombe is brought back into second place. So the places are correct on this restart. We are away! And here comes Luscombe! Luscombe puts the bumper in. Speak hanging on by a thread. And he's winding up that Anderson racing engine, powering into turn one. And Luscombe's only got a few chances to get Speak before Speak is on his wheel. And here comes 152 Mick Sorter now into third place. The world champion Rob Speak now trying to get some daylight between himself and these flying pursuers in Formula 2 World Final this afternoon. And we had a bit of an incident out there on turn one as 335 Mark Ward all tangles out with 103 Carl Issett, and that was allowing 188 Simon Panton to move up. But here's your lead driver, world champion Rob Speak is halfway, Mr. Starter, halfway as the lead driver 218 Rob Speak is on your far side. World champion Rob Speak leading the 1998 World Championship all at Swindon Stadium from 6:42 Dave Luscombe, 152 Mick Sorter, and a 559 Bert Finnegan. It's as close as that as the top four thunder up the far side once again. And on this drying Chevrolet, the elite car of Rob Speak beginning to find the speed and the traction to get away from these high-graded pursuers in this big race this afternoon. Luscombe going through, followed by Sorter, then comes Finnegan, 188 Simon Panton, 542 Peter Gilbert, and 658 Dean Mason. Now the race develops into a question as to who gets back the back markers the most effectively, and Speak on the back bumper of number 4 John Mickle, one of the back markers who started on row 17 this afternoon. As we go beyond the halfway stage, and Speak now really keeping a smooth and tight inside line in that elite chassis, immaculately turned out this afternoon in his resplendent gold colours, putting that bumper in on car 4, but Mickle not yet wide, but eventually he does so, and Speak goes through. And look at that! And Rob Speak has the gift of the gods. Yellow flags, Mr. Starter right in front of the home straight because of that incident. John Mickle right, keep on, hold them on yellow, we have a situation out there on the raceway as Speak, as he passed the number 4 car of John Mickle, John lost the control. And in a race that's full of incident and suspense this afternoon, Rob Speak had the gift of the gods almost, because it could have been oh so close that Speak here on the home straight could have lost it in a slight tangle with John Mickle, but he managed to get clear, and the resulting clash took out the back marker Mickle with 183 Mark Gunchard. And aren't we thankful that both of those drivers are A-OK? So again, action stations from all the officials on the infield as they bring those trackers out to clear the raceway, and a few more cars disappear from the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 World Championship big race. But those who are really beginning to paint the picture, the one that's really developing into one of suspense through each of these restarts. 642 Dave Luscombe right on the tail end of a world champion Rob Speak. ladies and gentlemen. We're just making sure that the positions are absolutely accurate before we recommence this world final.
Michael!
Lap down, has to come back into the race position that he had prior to the yellows, so hence, although a lap down, a third on the grid. So race leader, as we anticipate the restart, world champion Rob Speake, second 6:42 Dave Luscombe, the lap down 4:34 Ivan Pritchard is there on the circuit, and in third place is 1:52 Mick Sorder. Ladies and gentlemen, for that, but we've got to make sure that it's right so that everybody's happy. For the fourth time in this world title race, and this time it's Luscombe who was caught napping, and here comes Mick Sorder, the man firing the fireworks right the way around this raceway, and now finds himself in second place. Now then, Luscombe onto the infield, he's out of it, his race is run, and 2-1 Rob Speake is on his way. Mick Sorder there in second place, 6 car lengths behind, but trying to eat up that distance. He's gone wide once again, trying far too hard, and 5:59 Bert Finnegan has now gone into that second position, but look at them, Speake doesn't like it on the wet. He'll pray for this circuit to start drying out, because although he's got quite a bit of daylight between him and Bert Finnegan, it's not over. And Speake now, as every lap goes by, tries to put that power on just that little bit more, feathering that throttle into turn 1 and out of turn 2. But look at him, Bert Finnegan is beginning to reel him in. 5:59 in that second place. Still 6 car lengths between first and second. The same distance between second and third as we go through in this 1998 World Championship race. It'll be 5 to go, please, Mr. Starr. 5 laps to go in this world title for world champion 2-1 Rob Speake. 5 laps left to see if Bert Finnegan can reel him in this world title race. There he is then, Speake. Certainly not having any time at all to wave to the crowd in this big one this afternoon, as Finnegan is getting closer and closer, and can he do it? Bert Finnegan beginning to wind you up in this world title race, and it's certainly not over yet. It could be a real cliffhanger finish in this world title as Finnegan winds it up once again. And the bumper trying to go in, so elusive it was indeed. Speake getting away, 3 car lengths the difference. Finnegan, the track master here on the Shale, the top point scorer in Formula 2 at Swindon in 1998. And can he have the mettle to try and get the better of Speake? It's on that favourite turn 1 that Finnegan begins to wind it in, and certainly Robert will have his heart in his mouth as he will see 2 laps to go this time around. And Finnegan winds it up onto the home straight once more. A long way back to Sorder in third, but they're not too bothered about that. The battle is on for that lead, and Finnegan, sometimes the man who has the tactical emphasis on Formula 2 racing, trying to just glance that bumper in to make it effective, but this time only has this final lap to make it count, and it looks like the distance is too great. The checkered flag has already been prepared, and Rob Speake into turn 3 for the final time. Bert Finnegan is desperately trying to reel him, but it's too late, and Rob Speake, he takes the world title for a record 7th time in Formula 2 stock car racing, and that was a cliffhanger finish, a classic world final again, as illustrated on the Shale here at a terrific race at Swindon Raceway this afternoon. World champion, defending title holder Rob Speake to win the world title for an amazing 7th time. That's a red flagger. So just purely observations at this stage, of course, but world title holder Rob Speak looks like he's got that one from 5:59 Bert Finnegan and 1:52 Mick Sorter. So the top four then, 218, 559, 152 and H24.
We're still discussing it.
Well, furiously checking the places throughout the 10 in that world title this afternoon. And now confirmed, just so that we can get the right people out there on the start-finish straight, winning the world title for a record 7th time, and he looks absolutely delighted with that, as does Billy Speak, as does Billy. A great drive by his son Robert, and it certainly was one that he had to try and drive really hard for, certainly not an easily won race, and he certainly had a class field to really challenge him and give him their best shot for that gold roof. Bert Finnegan, the second place man, 152 Mick Sorter confirmed as third, and a great drive by Ville Peters in H24. He is confirmed as the fourth place finisher. Right the way around the infield, and plenty of people milling around in celebration in what was surely a great Formula 2 Stock Car World Final, equal to that, if not better than the 93 version that was held at Crewe Stadium. On that day, Ian King was the winner, but since then, Rob Speak has held aloft, head and shoulders above the rest. He's been the world champion. He's illustrated himself to be the best man ever in Formula 2 stock car racing. And again, here today, just showing just why he's the king of F2.
Pointed in that direction. There he is, Mick Sorter, the third place man, and it certainly was a great world final. So we're going to go have a chat with Mick Sorter first. And Mick Sorter, if I can have a quick word with you just before you get awarded with your trophy. A great race there. Can you talk us through some of the major moments for you?
Major moments. There weren't really major moments. I managed to just keep my ground and stay where I was and stay off the fence and out the wet. I've done really well, I think.
Did you think you were going to be able to catch leaders?
Personally, I think I was catching when it was dry. I mean, I don't know if I'd have got by Robert. If I would, I'd have probably end up in here somewhere. I was definitely quicker than what Bert was. You know, everybody can say I wasn't, but when it was dry, I was definitely quicker. So
Mick now out to get his trophy. Congratulations there to him. We're going to have a word now with Bert Finnegan. Great drive there by Bert. Did you think you were going to catch Speaky in the closing laps?
I was hoping so, yeah, but I got a slight misfire from the restart. And I was hoping just that bottom bend, but I just weren't close enough. That's how it goes. I caught up with Mick, and I think it just pulled me back a little bit, but that's how it goes.
There was quite a lot of stoppages in that race, obviously. Was that a big effect for you?
You know, it just kept going all the time, really. The track was drying out fast, and that's when I was going back, to be honest.
Great drive there by Bert Finnegan. He now takes his second place trophy, and hopefully we'll get a word with the brand new world champion. Now a 7-time champion of the world, 218 Rob Speak. And the drivers now being awarded with their trophies down here on the start-finish line. A great race, that one.
Robert Speak has unfortunately departed early from the proceedings this afternoon, has in fact left the stadium. So unfortunately, although that has left a little bit of a damp result on what was a truly fantastic race, hopefully that will do not detract from the great efforts of those drivers who made the top four in the World Championship this afternoon, and please do give them your full support as they go around on their lap of
44. Henk Peters, please put your hands together, and once again our thanks to the promoters for both here and of course Mendick Raceway, and to Graham Bunter for his efforts in putting on such a fantastic show here this afternoon. And this is Consolation number 1 underway, and already the bumpers going into 5-4-4 there from 9-1-7 and Nigel, but out into the lead 5-8-9, and is a little bit touchy there on that first straight here this afternoon for this first of the two Consolations. 5-8-9 leading them round as we speak at this present moment in time, with Colin Eardley from Stoke-on-Trent already starting to make some inroads to the back marker of 2-3-9. 9-1-7 in second place there, 5-4-4-2-1-9-2-4-0, and it's looking like marble time coming into that first bend coming off the pit straight. But never mind, that's what Formula 2 stock car racing is all about. 5-8-9 still leading them round. 9-1-7 in second place. Yellow flag, please. Yellow flag, Mr. Starter. Yellow flag. The yellow flag comes out. We obviously have a problem, yes, on the back straight there. And 5-8-9, our leading driver as we speak at the moment, with 9-1-7 and 5-4-4 second and third place respectively. 5-8-9, please. Hold them there. Thank you very much indeed. So over to you, Kevin, and here we go. 5-8-9, 9-7-2-4-0, 5-4-4, first, second, third, fourth, and all closing up now on this first reopening lap with 7-4-2 going off into a pile of dust. 5-8-9, the bumper's going in, 2-4-0 being the aggressor there, and Eardley being pushed wide into the lead now. 2-4-0 with Derek Coleman. So it's Derek Coleman from 5-8-9, 9-1-7, the wheels, and 68 now giving a little bit of stick as they all go a little bit wide going into that first turn. 800 Roy Goodman still way back as we speak at the moment. 240. Burning the back end right out wide there, 589 in second place, 68 in third, 917, 544, 885 and 302. 240 leading them round. Derek Coleman still there, putting a little bit of a twister on coming down the commentary stage. Meanwhile, 800 Roy Goodman trying to find an inside line, going for it, side swiping 219 into the bargain. Meanwhile, 240 is still out there in the lead by quite a long way at the moment. So it's 2. And Roy Goodman has gone. So that's 917, 302, 369. Halfway this time round, please, Mr. Starter. Halfway. And yellow flag, please. Yellow flag. So 5. Do a little bit of work on the fence there just to tighten things up a little bit because every time a car goes in, these fences really take a hammering. Wilson behind him, 5, 8 and 9. With Dave Brennan, 5, 9, 8, 8, 5, 3, 6, 9. 5, 4, 6, 3, 6, 2, 5, 8, 4, 2, 1, 9. 6, 1, 1, 3, 0, 2, and 1, 3, 1. As the green is given, the pedals to the metal, and let's get that dust up into your face, and that's what it's about here this afternoon, as the track really drying out. With 68, 885 now in second place, 589, 548 putting the back end right out, going wide, locking wheels with 362, so 546 and 362. Which didn't achieve too much apart from slow both drivers down. 369 goes wide and almost into the fence, but manages to control it just in time. 148 right from the back marker. 68 from 885. From 589, 546, 362, 302. Dave Brenner still there. 885. In second place, so 68, 885, 5 to go this time round please, 362, 546 and 589, so as we come with 5 laps to go, 68 from 885, 362, 546, 589 and 302. Brennan still there, 885 in second place, Roomy not there, 362, 546, 589 and 302. 140 going wide, 800 Roy Goodman coming through into the bottom placings, but it's still Dave Brennan hanging on to that lead, and it doesn't look as though anybody's going to stop him now. 885 in second place, 362, 346 and 302. With back marker 731 saying, oh well, I'll have a slice of action, and giving 302 a nice little friendly help and belt round. Meanwhile 68 looks as though his airport just about fall off. Heinz baked bean tins again. 85 in second place, then the 362 now in third. 68, 885 coming down the commentary straight, 362, 546, 302 and 800. Roy Goodman making inroads all the time, catching 302 as we speak. 68 still there, 885 chasing, but is not going to catch. Locking brakes going into the horse bin there. And the checkered flag being prepared this time round. And up and down it's going to be on 68. On 885, keep them coming, 362, 546, 800 Roy Goodman, 302, keep them coming Mr. Starter, 611, 742, 731, keep them coming please. Okay, when you're ready we'll have the red, thank you.
And third third in that Consolation, number 362, Dave Harley. Well done there to the big three in this afternoon's first Consolation event. We're going to be back in just a moment now with our second Consolation race.
1998 Formula 2 BriSCA World Champion. So shout at him, do what you like, make the noises as 218 Rob Speak goes round on his lap of honour, which unfortunately he missed out on a little earlier on. Go on, Rob.
I'm here for now. I'm here to apologise to the fans about why I did it, and to apologise to the fans why I did it, but I don't see why the promotion should cheat and water a race halfway through when they said they wasn't going to do. So that's the reason I did it, and I'd like to apologise to everyone who come here to watch it. And that's it. But if that I'm here to be beat, anyone can beat me fair and square. They can do what they want. When the promotion wants to cheat, I don't want to be here.
Congratulations there to Rob Speak. Certainly a favourite there with the fans. And now the 7-time champion of the world is number 218, Rob Speak. Back up to race control then for the full commentary on this afternoon's second Consolation.
Just to remind you that just the first 4 from this race will go through to this afternoon's grand final. So 269 and 669, the two lead. White tops leading the way from the duo of yellows, 414 Mark Veal and 851 Gary Smith. Two blue graders, 69 Simon Chalkley and 121 Lee Gunshard. But look out for this whole train of reds. They're sure to make this one pretty entertaining. So it's a clear break as we go into the second Consolation race, the first 4 to qualify for this afternoon's grand final. And Ian Chalkley leads them away in 269 from David Johns in 669. Already the blue graders getting amongst the yellows, but 414 Mark Veal is really tackling with 121 Lee Gunshard. He's had a great start, and within one lap will find himself in second place. Simon Chalkley spins out, allowing 851 Gary Smith to go through. And from the reds, 642 Dave Luscombe is making quite a move. So into the first lap on the completion with 121 Lee Gunshard, your lead driver, a long way clear from 414 Mark Veal, and then up to third already we'll have 642 Dave Luscombe. Just check on the position of these white graders coming down once again. And the white top still holding station, although Ian Chalkley spun out with 401 Barry Golding. Barry very much in a hurry to try and get back into it. It's just 4 to go through, but the 669 car of Somerset's David Johns is still circulating quite nicely here. Look at the lead car coming through, 121 Lee Gunshard. Then we have a couple of lap down cars before we come to 414 Mark Veal, then 824 Rob Johnson, 103 Carl Issett, and 871 Mark Simpson. And Veal goes to the fence on turn 2, and very closely touched by the two reds as they went on by. So 121 going through once again to complete another lap. 401 Barry Golden a lap down. Then we're looking for the next driver to come through. 824 Rob Johnson from 103 Carl Issett and 871 Mark Simpson. Passing the car out there on turn 4, the lead driver coming through once again, 121 Lee Gunshard. Darren Bingley a lap down with 401 Barry Golding. We're looking for the second driver to come through, 824 Rob Johnson, then 871 Mark Simpson. 642 Dave Luscombe is 4 from 717 Mike James. 613 Ian Serple is next, followed by 103 Carl Issett, and quite a number of the Red Brigade still tackling their way through the back end of this field. We have the yellow flags for the top corner, the spin out there. So bringing them down to walking speed with the 121 car of Lee Gunchard, your lead driver. He's approaching turn 1 now. 121, Lee Gunchard, your lead driver.
121 in the air.
He has quite a number of back markers between himself and his pursuer. Seven back markers between the lead driver 121 Lee Gunchard and second place driver 824 Rob Johnson, and 871 Mark Simpson and 642 Dave Luscombe, 717 Mike James and 103 Carl Issett. So quite a number of back markers between the lead driver and the pursuing pack. Low flag situation, but on this occasion quite quick to clear the car from the track, courtesy of the tractor, and once we get the all clear from the race officials out on the circuit, we'll be away again to conclude this second Consolation race. Just to remind you, the first 4 to qualify for this afternoon's grand final, which will be sponsored by Motoring News. So anticipating the green once again, Lee Gunchard looking very much in control in this race. And away we go again. So Leighton Buzzard's Lee Gunchard, 121, leading them through. 167 Bill Batten is a back marker with Merv Maggs and 677 Tony Roots. Darren Bingley also back there and battling with Isle of Man driver Brian Kinraid as the second place man, 824 Rob Johnson, is really on his way through now. And it will be halfway, please, Mr. Starter, halfway. The lead driver still on the far side, 121 Lee Gunchard. Entering turn 3 now, and out of 4, the blue graded driver, 121 Lee Gunchard, your lead man. There he goes, leading this one by a long way, and desperately trying to reel him in this second half of the race is 824 Rob Johnson, the star grade man from Stoke-on-Trent. The whole gaggle of back markers come through with Barry Golden and Darren Bingley amongst them as Luscombe goes wide and Carl Issett goes through, so there is a change for third place with 103 Carl Issett moving into that third spot. There goes Gunchard on the far side and looking to lap 717 Mike James, but he's put himself out. 121 clipping the fence, and will he recover in time? He certainly looked like he's struggling, but he's still holding that first place, and there he is with 5 to go this time, please, Mr. Starter. 5 laps to go and still holding that lead as he approaches the back straight is 121 Lee Gunchard with his cowcatcher looking very, very bent indeed. Here he is, 121 Lee Gunchard, 5 to go. Second place and closing him down fast, 824 Rob Johnson. In third, 871 Matt Simpson. Then we have fourth place as Darren Bingley spins, and that caught out the fourth place man 103 Carl Issett and allowed 732 Daz Kitson up into the place. Again, just to remind you, just first 4 to qualify for this afternoon's grand final. 121 Lee Gunchard approaching turn 3, your lead driver. We have about 8 or 9 car lengths between himself and his pursuer. 824 Rob Johnson. There still could be a good battle for third place as 871 Matt Simpson moves into turn 1 now. Ahead of quite a number of back markers, but Luscombe is there. Ahead of 732 Daz Kitson and 103 Carl Issett. Then comes 717 Mike James and 677 Tony Roots, but they're a long, long way back and out of the picture as far as qualification for this afternoon's grand final is concerned. 121, your lead driver Lee Gunchard from Leighton Buzzard, sporting that blue grade and using it to its full advantage, powering through into turn 4 once again to see yet another board. It's the final lap now for Gunchard. Can he afford to coast it? I don't think so though, and Rob Johnson reels him in just a little bit, but the margin is still too big to make it count, and 121 Lee Gunchard out of 3 and into turn 4 for the last time, and here he is to take the checkered flag and win this afternoon's second Consolation race to qualify for this afternoon's grand final. 121 Lee Gunchard, your winner, from 824 Rob Johnson, 817 Mark Simpson, and I believe fourth place driver will be 103 Carl Issett. Keep them going just a few moments more, please, Mr. Starter, to ensure they're all across the line. And that is a red flag, please, Mr. Starter. Thank you. Just purely observations at this stage, but 121 Lee Gunchard looks to have taken it from 824, 871, and possibly 103 or 732. We will just look at those charts very carefully and confirm the most important top four to qualify for this afternoon's grand final.
In that second consolation, Mark Simpson coming home in third place, Rob Johnson in second, and the race winner. Great drive there by Lee Ginchard. If we go over with Mark first. Oh, great drive there. What do you think of the Swindon Showway this afternoon?
Very fast when it's dry, very fast.
Now you've just booked yourself a place in the grand final this afternoon, which is the next race on your programme, so you're going to have to work fast. What do you think your chances are going to be in that one?
Not very good. I don't think the engine's up to it.
Congratulations there to Mark Simpson. We have a quick word with Rob Johnson, another one of the shower regulars here this afternoon. You've been a regular here at Swindon in 1998. What do you think of the Showway?
It's a great track, very fast. One of the fastest we've got for Shell.
Great race there. Do you think you were going to be able to reel in Lee and take the win?
If it wasn't so wet on just after the restart, then yeah, I could have done, but we were struggling a bit in the wet, but then when things dried out, we got quicker.
Now you're in the grand final a bit later on for the Jerry Domin Memorial. What do you think your chances will be in that?
We'll just have to see. We'll just see where we are when we start. There's going to be a lot of damage, so if I miss that, then I'll be there somewhere.
Certainly it's going to be a very hectic race. We're about to come round on the lap of honour very shortly, and then when we do, we'll have a word with the race winner, number 121, Lee Ginchard.
Everything all clear down there on the start-finish straight. Over to Mike, and we'll take them round on the lap of honour, and then we'll confirm the results to you then.
This afternoon, third place Mark Simpson, second place Rob Johnson, and on the front pace car with the winner, number 121, Lee Ginchard. Now Lee, I understand one of your very rare outings on Shale. What do you think of it here at Swindon?
It's very much like tarmac at the halfway point, but before that, it's nice and smooth, and it's better than Skegness.
Now, Vince Moody will be very upset. You know he's in the building, don't you?
Yeah, well, I've only been there once. Maybe I'll try it again and have a go next year on Shell.
Now, obviously, you booked yourself a place in the final, which is the next race on the programme. What do you think your chances are going to be in that?
Survive, and I'll survive. If I survive, go for a win.
What do you think of the World Championship a bit earlier on?
Didn't see much of it because I was at the back. The bit I saw at the end, it was pretty regular stuff with Rob winning as usual.
Come on, let's make some noise then for the big three. In third place, Mark Simpson, Rob Johnson in second, and the race winner, number 121, Lee Ginchard. Come on then, as we come back onto the home straight, your race winner, Lee Ginchard. Second place that time around, Rob Johnson, and in third place, Mark Simpson.
We're going to flag away, and this is it for this afternoon's final 4-3-1, losing them round with Andy Gibbs. So action already. 881 doing a little bit of door skirting there, going through on the infield, and it's still well out with literally a half a lap lead for 3-1. Then we have driver number 9, 885, 585, 30, 1170, 54 with Martin Buckley. So 821, Siamese twins in, but not for long. So for 3-1, still hanging on to that lead. 365 problems there for him on a real back mark at the moment. There's number 9 still in second place. Then look at those cars going sideways, coming in a whole melange of vehicles. But it's 4-3-1 still hanging on to that lead by quite a bit. Being chased now by Johnny Bingo in number 9. Then we have a real battle for third place between 585, 240 and 180, 68. Getting a little bit skewy going into that top end. fourth. Number 9 now leading them round, 4-3-1 out of it. So number 9 takes up the challenge from 5-8-5, and a few problems there for two cars on the coming into the commentary bend, but it's still 9 leading round with Vigo. 5-8-5 in second place. 70. 58 as the bumpers go in, and that was a mistake there by that driver, but it's at the end of the day 70 into the points he goes at the moment, 8-2-4, and followed by 68, but it's 9 leading them round as we speak at the moment. 4-2-4 in a very awkward place, 1-7-6, and all the cars having to go all over the place to get out of the way. 5-8-5 still hanging on to that second place, but it's 9 leading them round. Getting out of the way right quick. Number 9, 5-8-5, then 8-2-4. Number 9 still hanging on to lead. Dean Mason well down at the moment. So as they come to you, Mr. Starters, number 9 with Johnny Bago. Then 5-8-5, 8-2-4. 1-9-6, 68-24, and then 8-7-1 with Mark Simpson. In the fence he goes. Number 9 being tested now by 658 Dean Mason. Dean Mason nearly getting it all wrong. 9 we lose for the moment. So caught up with 658 Dean Mason. 5-8. 8-2-4 now leading. 8-2-4 Dean Mason now leading. Sorry, halfway this time round as we get 196 in a problem. So, sorry, 8-2-4, 5-8-5. Ron Johnson leading them round. And yellow flag, please. Yellow flag. And 8-2-4, your leading car with Ron Johnson. 8-2-4, 5-8-5. Then 68, 667, 55, 658 and 70. But 8-2-4, Ron Johnson leading at the moment as we come to a yellow flag condition with 196 in a very, very awkward position right in front of the commentary box, saying, I wish I could get this car going, but I can't. Close up with 585 now, literally in almost touching distance, which when that flag goes down, I guess it will be touching distance. Okay, it's green time again, so 824 leading round with Johnson. 585, 68, almost going all the way around the magic roundabout, but managed to hang on to it quite nicely. And 824 Ron Johnson already getting a little bit of space between he and second place driver with 585 being hotly pursued by 68, 667 with Tim Farrell, 55 and 558. So Charlie, nearly, and we do have a yellow flag, as we have a roller there on the top end. So it's Yeah. And the lead car, sir, 824. 824 is our lead car. But it's 824. Ron Johnson is our leading driver. Then 70. 658. Dean Mason in third place. 903 and a 1201. Again, another yellow flag situation. Everybody closing up. And the green is away. 824 70 with 658 Dean Mason there. In third place 121 number 9 903676 with Neil Hooper. And the 824 car giving a nice backfire there as he toes off going into those bends. 70 still second place, 658 Dean Mason, 121 number 9 and 676 with Neil Hooper from Exmouth, then 301. And most of the cars fairly well spread out, just calming down a little bit now. Apart from first, second place and a real challenge and they're being put on here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, with 824 Ron Johnson. Powering it all the way round the shell here this afternoon. Being caught by and it's 5 to go this time round, please, Mr. Starter. 824.70, that as they come to you, so we don't have any problems with straggling back markers in this afternoon's final. But it's 824, is he going to be able to hang on to the lead? That is Ron Johnson, we shall see. 70, chasing all the time, and in third place, 658 currently with Dean Mason, but a little bit too far down. Meanwhile, we have another battle royale for fourth place between 9 121 676 Hooper as 68 pulls off onto the infield. 362 round the magic roundabout, he goes. Meanwhile, back to race leaders 824, still hanging on to that lead with Ron Johnson. Hotly pursued now by 70. 70 trying to get in touch, nearly touching, not. And yellow flag, please, another roller, yellow flag. And 676 there, the roller this time with Neil Weaver from Exmouth. Hopefully he's all right, and a race 824, 75, 658, 360 as they are. 8 pulls off onto the infield. 362 round the magic roundabout, he goes. Meanwhile, back to race leaders 824, still hanging on to that lead with Ron Johnson. Hotly pursued now by 70. 70 trying to get in touch, nearly touching, not. And yellow flag, please, another roller, yellow flag. 360 as they are. Hopefully we're all clear. We're just removing 711 off the first bend there. As soon as that one is okay, Mr. Starter, it's over to you. 824 Ron Johnson, our leading driver, and the first 5 cars literally all bumper to bumper, ready for the green to go, pedal to the metal, and let's see who's going to play pocket billiards this afternoon. 70 is angling for it, I would suggest. He's just waiting, his giant catapult, but look at the getaway that 824 Ron Johnson has got. He certainly was looking at that green flag. It's almost as though he knew it was going a few seconds before it did. And cars all over the place on the infield, but a couple of them there, race nearly run, 55 and 121. Meanwhile, back to the racing itself. 824 Ron Johnson from Newcastle, still hanging on to that lead position, after pursued by 70, who is not, I don't think, are going to catch him. 658 still there with Dean Mason in third place, and I think that is how it is going to end, subject to a little bit of failure on the mechanical side. But 824, he's been leading all the way. He's really going like a bomber here this afternoon. So it's 824, 70, 658, 871, 790 and 362 as the checkered flag is prepared for the penultimate time here this afternoon. There it is, 824, he's got it, 72nd place, 658 Dean Mason, then 871, 790, 362. I believe this is the order, subject to confirmation, for this afternoon's grand final. As we, okay, Mr. Starter, over to you, sir.
Let's have a big cheer please for the race winner, number 824, Rob Johnson. And Rob, certainly a lot of pressure there in the closing laps. Did you think that Brian was going to be putting the bumper in for the big Evo in the closing laps?
No, we were very close on speed. As long as I just kept that car's distance going into the corner, it'll be there when I come out, so everything was okay.
Did you think perhaps that final stoppage was going to be your downfall? Because of course when you restarted, Brian was right there behind you.
Yeah, it wasn't that was the problem. It was the fact that temperature was rising even more. So, you know, the engine was getting rather tired because we just come straight off after the Consolation second. So, you know, it's about time the engine cooled down, I think.
I have to ask, Rob, how much of a challenge was it coming down the back straight with the sun in your eyes?
You had to wait and see until you could see the white curves before you could turn in, because you just couldn't see the corner at all. You just hadn't a clue where it was.
Are you going to be back out for the Grand National in just a moment?
All being well, if the car's cooled down, then we'll be back.
Greatness here then once again as we come round the big stand for your race winner, number 824, Rob Johnson. And congratulations as well, second place, number 70, Brian Shadbolt. And third place, that time around, of course, the Lancaster Bomber, number 658, Dean Mason. This here then once again for the race winner, the Jerry Dommett Memorial Trophy Final, your race winner, number 824, Rob Johnson. Congratulations.
The lone white topper of Matt Metcalf is the guy who's going to try to make the most of his lead advantage in this last race. 301 Matthew Say is the first yellow from 513 Roy Slocum and 585 Mick Berry. So plenty of blues and reds towards the back. Let's see what balance they can impact on this final race as we go racing for the last time today. Rob Johnson power sliding into turn 3 and 4. As the white great driver of Metcalf spins it out in far too much under the wet conditions. So the man keeping it all together is 301 Matt Sayre. He leads. 513 Roy Slocum following him through. As Jim Bamford looks fairly menacing indeed, the first blue topper in 302, followed by 742 Adam Brand and 121 Lee Gunchard. Watch out for Gunchard, he could really wind it up again in this national. 658 Dean Mason has an early departure to the infield as Matthew Sayre spins out, and down the home straight to lead is 513 Roy Slocum, but flying up his inside goes 742 Adam Brand, and he's your new leader into turn 2 and onto the back straight. Following him round is 302 Jim Bamford, followed by 121 Lee Gunchard. It's going to be a blue top train of 4 drivers moving into turn 3 and out of 4 in this national as they power slide their way down the home straight once again, headed by 742 Spalding's Adam Brand. 302 Jim Bamford following him round like a hawk, and he's tracking his every move. Lee Gunchard third, then comes Jonathan Plant in 711, and Plant as I speak moves into that third place, and Roy Slocum certainly has not given up the ghost as well in 513. Here we are, neck and neck down the home straight, and 742 Adam Brand is really having a good race of it with 302 Jim Bamford in this Grand National this afternoon. A great battle of third between 711 John Plant and 121 Lee Gunchard. Now then, where are the A grade drivers? Well, the first of those is 790 Mark Taylor, and he thunders that big car of his down the back straight, giving 362 Dave Harley a lot of pressure into turn number 3. Little bit of nerve in him, nudging as he goes through, battling for that top 6 place as the battle rages for the lead, and Jim Bamford's trying to make it count, powering through on the inside out of turn 2, and he now leads the national. 711, John Plant moves into 2nd place, demoting the 742 car to 3rd. Plant going a little bit wide. Adam Brand looking to try and nose his way back into contention, but this time your lead driver, 302, Jim Bamford, in that all-orange machine with the blue roof, flying his way through, but under distinct pressure from Plant in that 2nd place, driving car 711. So certainly still very much an open race in this Grand National, and 302 power slides out just a little bit too much once again, and the 5 lead drivers are down the home straight once more in what is turning out to be quite a spectacle this last race of the afternoon. 302 from 711 in 2nd place. 742, Adam Brand is 3rd, and up to 4th now goes the red grey driver, 790, Bakeup's Mark Taylor. And Bakeup's Mark Taylor really beginning to close in on the top 3 blue-grey drivers in this national now. Down the home straight he goes and puts the bumper in on the 742 car of Adam Brand. Brand going wide but holds that position as they go through turns 1 and 2. Just remind me, still quite a way to go in this 20-lap of Grand National as John Plant loses it quite a bit there on turn 3. And 302 has quite a bit of daylight between himself and his pursuers. 711, John Plant. From 742, Adam Brand, and 790, Mark Taylor. Then in 5th is number 70, Brian Shadbolt by 121, Lee Gunchard. Shadbolt retires, and into the fence goes 742, Adam Brand, in quite an impact. That goes out on turn 3. And it's halfway, please, Mr. Starter, halfway for your lead driver. Out of turn 2 he goes and onto the back straight, 302, Jim Bamford. Now then, look at that 2nd place. Here he comes, 790, Mark Taylor, really beginning to close that gap now on that blue-grey lead driver of 302, Jim Bamford. They're lapping the back markers at quite a rate, and Mark Taylor really looking quite comfortable trying to reel in the lead man. It's 302 from 790 and 711. Those are your top 3. In 4th is 121 Lee Gunchard, and in 5th is 362 David Harley. Certainly keep your eyes fixed on the top 2 as they go into turn 1. And 302 Jim Bamford still keeping a clean pair of heels to Mark Taylor, though he's been held up by Mick Berry. Berry's the back marker, has had the impact, and there's the spin. And indeed Mark Taylor is out as well. But he recovers, but the lead has now changed, and it is in the hands of 711, John Plant. 711 into turn 1 and out of 2. John Plant on his way. Certainly got a right number of qualifying points earlier this season at the Sheffield Stadium, and he's showing once again just why he's such an accomplished driver on the shale. 711, Jonathan Plant on his way now down the home straight. 790 Mark Taylor trying to recover, and indeed trying to give a little bit of a payback to Mark Berry. Oh, and just look at that meth car go straight into the wires on the approach to the back straight. Mark Taylor though winding up as we go down the latter part of this Grand National under the flood lamps here at Swindon. And it's going to be 5 to go this time, please, Mr. Starter. 5 laps to go for your lead driver out on the far side, 711 Jonathan Plant. 2nd place, 790 Mark Taylor. 3rd now, 362 David Harley. 4th, 121 Lee Gunchard. And in 5th place now, from his lap handicap, 824 Rob Johnson. So they're all now circulating quite smoothly and quickly, and the gap is still being maintained as John Plant goes through, power sliding through turn number 3, and Mark Taylor comes in just a little bit to try and close that gap, but we are running out of laps most certainly now. But can Mark Taylor do anything about John Plant, a very accomplished blue-graded shale specialist? 3 to go, and there it is, 3 laps to go for 711. 2nd place 790, 3rd 362. Oh, and disaster for Rob Johnson just as he went into 4th position. His car dies on him, and the winner of this afternoon final goes out of the national. John Plant still has it from 790 Mark Taylor, then quite a gap to 362 Dave Harley. A large gap in turn to 121 Lee Gunchard, then comes 717 Mike James and 903 Roger Mitchell. So we're on to this, the final lap, and the checkered flag has already been prepared. It's been a smooth and fast race. Mark Taylor tries one desperate lunge for the last time, but to no avail. And your winner, a delighted 711 John Plant. He wins the national from 790 Mark Taylor, 362 David Harley. We're looking for the fourth place finisher coming across the line. Now is 717 Mike James from 121 Lee Gunchard and 903 Roger Mitchell. Then comes Brian Kinraid in 64 and 401 Barry Golding. Keep them going just a moment more. And that's a red flag, please, Mr. Starter, to conclude the last race of the afternoon here on World Championship Day here at Swindon Stadium. A smooth and fast race, one which could have been brought into contention with the lead swapping places on a number of occasions. Mark Taylor tried his utmost to steal that victory, but when he was bulked by one of the yellow graded back markers, 711 Jonathan Plant made the most of it, and he went through to a smooth win. Try that again. 711 John Plant, second place 790 Mark Taylor, third 362 Dave Harley, fourth 717 Mike James, fifth place 121 Lee Gunchard, sixth place 903 Roger Mitchell, seventh was 64 Brian Kinraid, eighth 401 Barry Goldin, ninth 513 Roy Slocum, and Mike Berry in 10th in 585. Well guys, thanks very much for being with us today, and may I say on behalf of BriSCA Promotions and all the sponsors and everyone concerned in this year's World Championship Final, we wish you all the best and a safe journey home.
It's going to be one slow warm-up lap, and then we're going to be away racing with the big one in 1998. We're about to go back up to race control. The drivers now moving into their grid positions, and this certainly is going to be a classic race. Rob speaking, Daz Kingston to lead the round. We can now say back to you in race control for the start of the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 Stock Car Championship of the World.
So after that tremendous wind-up by Michael Coventry on the infield, the line-up now coming together as we get ready for the start of the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 Stock Car Championship of the World, with defending title holder 218 Rob Speak out there on pole position. The action man alongside him, the elite 732 Daz Kitson. Row 2 with 658 the Lancaster Bomber Dean Mason. The ever smooth veteran 642 Dave Luscombe, 167 Bill Batten, 401 Barry Goldin. Those are your top three lines in the World Championship lineup. 901 Ian Thompson Jr., H24 is Ville Peters, 5:42. Peter Gilbert, 1:52. Mick Soda, 99. Steve Dakin, the Shale specialist. Watch him go, 5:59. Bert Finnegan, 1:03. Carl Issett, 1:88. Simon Panton. Hank Peters, H25. 9:40 from Northern Ireland is Davy McCrory. 1:41. Quinton Mackay. 5:58. Darren Gauchel. 1:83. Mark Gunchard. 4:64. Robin Drysdale. 6:77. Chris Roots. 25, Graham Moore. 64, Brian Kinraid. Row 13, occupied by 6:22, Darren Bingley. 6:13, Ian Serple. 14:85, Colin Dunford. 1:21, Lee Gunchard. 5:96, Scott Carstairs. 8:79, Mick Rothwell. H29, Cole Shutter. 9:18, Rob Johns. And at the back for John Mickle and NZ11 Stan Hickey. Right on the starters orders, we're getting ready, and we are go in the 1998 BriSCA Championship of the World for Formula 2 stock cars. And 2-1-8 Rob Speed hits the grip, he went to the dive and he's away. As disaster, the 732 Daz Kitson, the row 1 starter, out of contention already as we go onto the far side with world champion Rob Speak on his way once again as he did at Cowdenbeath last year. Barry Golden, the obstacle on the approach to the home straight, but Rob Speak firing away in that all-gold machine, that elite machine, fighting away clear from 658 Dean Mason and 642 Dave Luscombe. 901 Ian Thompson Jr. in 4th, from 167 Bill Batten in 5th. Into the 6th we have 5:59 Bert Finnegan. A spinner out on turn 1 is 183 Lee Gunchard as the race leader, world champion Rob Speak flies on through, but Dave Luscombe into 2nd place now, beginning to reel him in, and Bill Batten is gone on turn 2. The old veteran is out of it in the 1998 Championship of the World for Formula 2 stock cars as the world champion Rob Speak comes through once again to lead. 218 into the traffic, passing the 434 car of Ivan Pritchard into a back down position, and it's 218 your leader from 642 Dave Luscombe trying to reel him in. We have yellow flags out on the raceway, yellow flags already in the early laps of this world championship, and Bill Batten, the car spun on turn 2, and we're looking to check if everything is a-okay. So lead car, Rob Speak out there on the far side from 642, Dave Luscombe 2nd. We have a gaggle of back markers out there before we come to the 3rd place driver, 658 Dean Mason, and then 901 from Northern Ireland, Ian Thompson. Skegness on a rain-soaked night over on the East Coast tarmac as it was then. Did it? Could he do it again? And indeed he gives Speak a little tap of the bumper to get him going, but could it be there to outpsych the world champion, sponsored by Anston Racing Engines as well. 218 Rob Speak, the defending world champion, going for the world title for the 7th time this afternoon, with the man who won it back in 1987 right there with him on his back bumper. The Lancaster Bomber, 658 Dean Mason is 3rd. .901 Ian Thompson Jr. in the former Speak car. 5:59 Bert Finnegan. Don't discount Bert, winner of the Formula 1 world title back in 1990 at Bradford Stadium. Knows how to handle the shale with 9 litres of engine power under his right foot, and now in the sport of BriSCA Formula 2, certainly the most competitive sport of UK oval racing. He could take the advantage, but look at this, we are go once again, and Luscombe is there, fighting through on the inside there, neck and neck, on the home straight, and the 642 Dave Luscombe is the new race leader in the world final this afternoon. It's 642 Dave Luscombe, and look at him go in the Colin Hickman chassis, away and racing clear from defending world title holder 218 Rob Speak, who overcooks it just a bit into turn number 4. 6:42 from 2:18. 6:58 Dean Mason. And we have yellow flags. Yellow flags, please, Mr. Starter. A tangle out there involving 99 Steve Dakin and Ian Thompson Jr. 183 Mark Gunshard is there as well, as we try and bring them down to walking pace speed. These drivers are really up for it this afternoon. It's going to take some time to really cool them down, but we have a little bit of a problem out there once again, as the normally immaculate car of Steve Dakin is out there minus an inside rear wheel, and Dakin's race in the 1998 World Championship is run, and we're looking to clear that car from the circuit. But there we are on the turn, the pit turn, where the atmosphere is. The Southwest is really having their hearts in their mouths, as Dave Luskin, well, he looked like he was capable of doing it, but at the moment he's stolen that lead from the defending world title holder, 218 Rob Speak. 6:5 Dean Mason, the man representing the northwest of England in the competitive places here this afternoon, and the likes of those guys from Bolton and Lancashire and Bury really looking to see if Mason can bring it home to the northwest this afternoon if Rob Speak doesn't. But now 5:59 Bert Finnegan, the man from Leek in Staffordshire, twice British title holder in the sport of Formula 2 stock cars, he's right there as well. Certainly a man who can't be discounted. He's the leader of the points at Swindon Stadium in 1998, and he certainly has the capacity and the ability to take this race this afternoon. 4:34 Ivan Pritchard is a lap down, but Mick Sauter is there in 1:52 from 103 Carl Issett. And there we are, right away again, and Luscombe gets the dive into turn 3, but here comes Speak with a late lunge. And here we go, down the straight once again, and Rob Speak is going to wind it up, and get the bumper in. The crowd is going absolutely wild, and Rob Speak gets that lead back in the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 Championship, and Luscombe is back again. And then neck and neck, could they take each other out? Oh, and just look at Luscombe, nearly lose it there as they come up the back marker of 918 Rob Johns. Is Speak on a roll once again, trying to make it clear this is the type of race that he loves the best, the one that brings him the best challenge. It's the World Championship, and Speak, he could be on his way. So Rob Speak, the leader from 6:42 Dave Luscombe, and Mason is gone. 6:58 Mason is out of it. And yellow flag, please, Mr. Starter. Yellow flag, please, once again, as we come to the assistance of what looks to be Rob Drysdale in 464, the Scottish-based Kinlassie driver, requiring assistance as we come to see him on the far side. But now the picture changes again. If yellow flags can assist the anticipation and the suspense of a BriSCA Formula 2 World Championship, well, it's perfectly illustrated here. And Speak, the man who gets back at Luscombe after the second restart, he's there leading it with Bert Finnegan. I told you to look out for Bert, the man who knows how to race the shale, right there in second place. 6:42 Dave Luscombe, certainly don't discount Dave. Come on, you guys from the West Country, show your support for Luscombe, and he's there in third place. 1:52 Mick Sauter fourth. 1:03 Carl Issett is there. 6:58 Dean Mason, looks like he's out of it. Been deemed by the steward of the meeting that Bert Finnegan in fact unwittingly overtook as the yellows came out. So prior to the restart of this race, Luscombe is brought back into second place, so the places are correct on this restart, and we are away, and here comes Luscombe. Luscombe puts the bumper in, Speak hanging on by a thread, and he's winding up that Anderson racing engine, powering into turn 1, and Luscombe's only got a few chances to get Speak before Speak is on his way, and And here comes 152 mixed order now into third place. The world champion Rob Speak now trying to get some daylight between himself and these flying pursuers in Formula 2 World Final this afternoon. And we have a bit of an incident out there on turn 1 as 335 Mark Wardle tangles out with 103 Carl Issett, and that was allowing 188 Simon Panton to move up. But here's your lead driver, world champion Rob Speak is halfway, Mr. Starter, halfway as the lead driver 218 Rob Speak is on your far side. World champion Rob Speak leading the 1998 World Championship here at Swindon Stadium from 642 Dave Luscombe, 152 Mick Soda and a 559 Bert Finnegan. It's as close as that as the top 4 thunder up the far side once again. And on this drying Shaleway, the elite car of Rob Speak beginning to find the speed and the traction to get away from these high-graded pursuers in this big race this afternoon. Luscombe going through, followed by Soda, then comes Finnegan, 188 Simon Panton, 542 Peter Gilbert and 658 Dean Mason. Now the race develops into a question as to who gets back the back markers the most effectively, and Speak on the back number of number 4 John Mickle, one of the back markers who started on row 17 this afternoon. As we go beyond the halfway stage, and Speak now really keeping a smooth and tight inside line in that elite chassis, immaculately turned out this afternoon in his resplendent gold colours, putting that bumper in on car 4, but Mickle not yet wide, but eventually he does so, and Speak goes through. And look at that! And Rob Speak has the gift of the gods. Yellow flags, Mr. Starter right in front of the home straight because of that incident. John Mickle right, keep on, hold him on yellow, we have a situation out there on the raceway as Speak, as he passed the number 4 car of John Mickle, John lost the control. And in a race that's full of incident and suspense this afternoon, Rob Speak had the gift of the gods almost, because it could have been oh so close that Speak here on the home straight could have lost it in a slight tangle with John Mickle, but he managed to get clear, and the resulting clash took out the back marker Mickle with 183 Mark Gunchard. And aren't we thankful that both of those drivers are A-OK? Action stations from all the officials on the infield as they bring this trackers out to clear the raceway, and a few more cars disappear from the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 World Championship big race. But those who are really beginning to paint the picture, the one that's really developing into one of suspense through each of these restarts, 642 Dave Luscombe right on the tail end of a world champion Rob Speak. Right, sorry for the delay here, ladies and gentlemen. We're just making sure that the positions are absolutely accurate before we recommence this world final. So we're just going to hold them just for a few moments more until these positions are correct. Apologise for the delay, but we've got to make sure these cars are in their right places, and Ivan Pritchard, although a lap down, has to come back into the race position that he had prior to the yellows, so hence, although a lap down, a third on the grid. So race leader, as we anticipate the restart, world champion Rob Speak, second 6:42 Dave Luscombe, the lap down 4:34 Ivan Pritchard is there on the circuit, and in third place is 1:52 Mick Sauter. So apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for that, but we've got to make sure that it's right so that everybody's happy. Okay, Cormy Green, we're gone for the fourth time in this world title race. And this time it's Luscombe who was caught napping, and here comes Mick Sauter, the man firing the fireworks right the way around this raceway, and now finds himself in second place. Now then, Luscombe onto the infield, he's out of it, his race is run, and 2-1 in, Rob Speak is on his way. Mick Sauter there in second place, 6 car lengths behind, but trying to eat up that distance. He's gone wide once again, trying far too hard, and 5:59, Bert Finnegan has now gone into that second position, but look at them, Speak doesn't like it on the wet. He'll pray for this circuit to start drying out, because although he's got quite a bit of daylight between him and Bert Finnegan, it's not over. And Speak now, as every lap goes by, tries to put that power on just that little bit more, feathering that throttle into turn 1 and out of turn 2. But look at him, Bert Finnegan is beginning to reel him in. 5:59 in that second place. Still 6 car lengths between first and second. The same distance between second and third as we go through in this 1998 World Championship race. It'll be 5 to go, please, Mr. Starr. 5 laps to go in this world title for World Champion 218 Rob Speak. 5 laps left to see if Bert Finnegan can reel him in this world title race. There he is then, Speak. Certainly not having any time at all to wave to the crowd in this big one this afternoon, as Finnegan is getting closer and closer, and can he do it? Bert Finnegan beginning to wind it up in this world title race, and it's certainly not over yet. It could be a real cliffhanger finish in this world title as Finnegan winds it up once again. And the bumper trying to go in, so elusive it was indeed. Speak getting away, 3 car lengths the difference. Finnegan, the track master here on the Shale, the top point scorer in Formula 2 in Swindon in 1998. And can he have the mettle to try and get the better of Speak? It's on that favourite turn 1 that Finnegan begins to wind it in, and certainly Robert will have his heart in his mouth as he will see 2 laps to go this time around. And Finnegan winds it up onto the home straight once more. A long way back to Sauter in third, but we're not too bothered about that. The battle is on for that lead, and Finnegan, sometimes the man who has the tactical emphasis on Formula 2 racing, trying to just lance that bumper in to make it effective, but this time only has this final lap to make it count, and it looks like the distance is too great. The checkered flag is already being prepared, and Rob Speak into turn 3 for the final time. Bert Finnegan is desperately trying to reel him, but it's too late, and Rob Speak, he takes the world title for a record 7th time in Formula 2 stock car racing, and that was a cliffhanger finish, a classic world final again as illustrated on the Shale here at a terrific race at Swindon Raceway this afternoon. World champion, defending title holder Rob Speak comes again to win the world title for an amazing 7th time. And that's a red flagger. So just purely observations at this stage, of course, but world title holder Rob Speak looks like he's got that one from 5:59 Bert Finnegan and 1:52 Mick Sauter. So the top 4 then, 218, 559, 152 and H24. 8-3 Mark Gunchard. 4-6-4 Robin Drysdale. 6-7-7 Chris Roots. 25 Graham Moore. 64 Brian Kinraid. Row 13 occupied by 622 Darren Bingley. 613 Ian Serple. 1485 Colin Dunford. 121 Lee Gunchard. 596 Scott Carstairs. 879 Mick Rothwell. H29 Paul Shutter. 918 Rob Rabjohns. And at the back for John Mickle and NZ11 Stan Hickey. Right on the starters orders, they're getting ready, and we'll go in the 1998 BriSCA Championship of the World for Formula 2 stock cars. And 218 Rob Speak gets the grip, he gets the dive, and he's away as disaster for 732 Daz Kitson, the row 1 starter, out of contention already as we go on to the far side. The world champion Rob Speak on his way once again as he did at Coventry last year. Barry Golden, the obstacle on the approach to the home straight, but Rob Speak firing away in that all-gold machine, that elite machine, fighting away clear from 658 Dean Mason and 642 Dave Luscombe. 901 Ian Thompson Jr. in 4th, but 167 Bill Batten in 5th. Into the 6th we have 559 Bert Finnegan. The spinner out on turn 1 is 183 Lee Gunchard as the race leader, world champion Rob Speak flies on through, but Dave Luscombe into 2nd place now, beginning to reel him in, and Bill Batten is gone on turn 2. The old veteran is out of it in the 1998 Championship of the World for Formula 2 stock cars as the world champion Rob Speak comes through once again to lead. 218 into the traffic, passing the 434 car of Ivan Pritchard into a back down position, and it's 218 your leader from 642 Dave Luscombe trying to reel him in. We have yellow flags out on the raceway, yellow flags already in the early laps of this world championship, and Bill Batten, the car spawned on turn 2, and we're looking to check if everything is a-okay. 90 at Bradford Stadium, knows how to handle a shale with 9 litres of engine power under his right foot, and now in the sport of BriSCA Formula 2, certainly the most competitive sport of UK oval racing. He could take the advantage, but look at this, we are good once again, and Luscombe is there, fighting through on the inside there, neck and neck, down the home straight, and the 642 Dave Luscombe is the new race leader in the world final this afternoon. It's 642 Dave Luscombe, and look at him go in the Colin Hickman chassis, away and racing clear for defending world title holder 218 Rob Speak, who overcuts him just a bit into turn number 4. 642 from 218, 658 Dean Mason, and we have yellow flags please Mr. Starter, a tangle out there involving 99 Steve Deakin and Ian Thompson Jr. 183 Mark Gunchard is there as well as we try and bring them down to walking pace speed. These drivers are really up for it this afternoon. It's going to take it some time to really cool them down, but we have a little bit of a problem out there once again as the normally immaculate car of Steve Deakin is out there minus an inside rear wheel down, but Mick Sauter is there in 152 from 103 Carl Isaac, and there we are, right away again, and Luscombe gets the drive into turn 3, but here comes Speak with a late lunge, and here we go down the home straight once again, and Rob Speak is going to wind it up and get the bumper in. The crowd is going absolutely wild, and Rob Speak gets that wave back in the 1998 BriSCA Formula 2 Championship, and Luscombe is back again, and they're neck and neck, could they take each other out? Oh, just look at Luscombe, nearly lose it there as they come up the back marker of 918 Rob Rabjohns. He's Speak on a roll once again, trying to make it clear this is the type of race that he loves the best, the one that brings him the best challenge. It's the World Championship, and Speaky could be on his way. So Rob Speak the leader from 6.42, Dave Luscombe, and Mason has gone. 6.58, Mason is out of it. And yellow flag please, Mr. Starter, yellow flag please once again as we come to the assistance of what looks to be Rob Drysdale in 4.64, the Scottish-based Kinlassie driver, requiring assistance as we come to see him on the far side. The meeting that Bert Finnegan in fact unwittingly overtook as the yellows came out. So prior to the restart of this race, Luscombe is brought back into second place, so the places are correct. On this restart, we are away, and here comes Luscombe. Luscombe puts the bumper in, Speak hanging on by a thread, and he's winding up that Anderson racing engine, powering into turn one, and Luscombe's only got a few chances to get Speak before Speak is on his way, and here comes 1-5-2 Mick Sorter now into third place. The world champion Rob Speak now trying to get some daylight between himself and these flying pursuers in Formula 2 World Final this afternoon. And we have a bit of an incident out there on turn one as 335 Mark Warhol tangles out with 103 Carl Lissett, and that was allowing 188 Simon Panton to move up. But here's your lead driver, world champion Rob Speak is halfway, Mr. Starter, halfway as the lead driver 218 Rob Speak is on your far side. World champion Rob Speak leading the 1998 World Championship here at Swindon Stadium on 6.42 Dave Luscombe, 1.52 Mick Sorter, and a 5.59 Bert Finnegan. It's as close as that as the top four thunder up the far side once again. And on this drying straightaway, the elite car of Rob Speak beginning to find the speed and the traction to get away from these high-rated pursuers in this big race this afternoon. Luscombe going through, followed by Sorter, then comes Finnegan, 188 Simon Panton, 5.42 Peter Gilbert, and 6.58 Dean Mason. Now the race develops into a question as to who gets back the back markers the most effectively, and Speak on the back bumper of number 4 John Mickle, one of the back markers who started on row 17 this afternoon. As we go beyond the halfway stage, and Speak now really keeping us smooth and tight inside line in that elite chassis, immaculately turned out this afternoon in his resplendent gold colours from that bumper in on car 4, but Mickle not yet wide, but eventually he does so, and Speak goes through. And look at that! That Rob Speak has the gift of the gods. Yellow flags, Mr. Starter, right in front of the home straight because of that incident. John Mickle. Evan Fitchard is there on the circuit, and in third place is 1.52 Mick Sorter. So apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for that, but we've got to make sure that it's right so that everybody's happy. This world title race, and this time it's Luscombe who was caught napping, and here comes Mick Sorter, the man firing the fireworks right the way around this raceway, and now finds himself in second place. Now then, Luscombe onto the infield, he's out of it, his race is run, and 218 Rob Speak is on his way. Mick Sorter there in second place, 6 car lengths behind, trying to eat up that distance. He's gone wide once again, trying far too hard, and 5.59 Bert Finnegan has now gone into that second position, but look at them, Speak doesn't like it on the wet. He'll pray for this circuit to start drying out, because although he's got quite a bit of daylight between him and Bert Finnegan, it's not over. And Speak now, as every lap goes by, tries to put that power on just that little bit more, feathering that throttle into turn 1 and out of turn 2. But look at him, Bert Finnegan is beginning to reel him in. 5.59 in that second place. Still 6 car lengths between first and second. The same distance between second and third as we go through in this 1998 World Championship race. It'll be 5 to go, please, Mr. Starr. 5 laps to go in this world title for world champion 218 Rob Speak. 5 laps left to see if Finnegan can reel him in this world title race. There he is then, Speak. Certainly not having any time at all to wave to the crowd in this big one this afternoon, as Finnegan is getting closer and closer, and can he go it? Bert Finnegan beginning to wind up in this world title race, and it's certainly not over yet. It could be a royal cliffhanger finish in this world title as Finnegan winds it up once again. And the bumper trying to go in, so elusive it was indeed. Speak getting away, 3 car lengths the difference. Finnegan, the track master here on the Shale, the top point scorer in Formula 2 at Swindon in 1998. And can he have the mettle to try and get the better of Speak? It's on that favourite turn 1 that Finnegan begins to wind it in, and certainly Robert will have his heart in his mouth as he will see 2 laps to go this time around, and Finnegan winds it up onto the home straight once more. A long way back to Sauter in third, but they're not too bothered about that. The battle is on for that lead, and Finnegan, sometimes the man who has the tactical emphasis on Formula 2 racing, trying to just glance that bumper in to make it effective, but this time only has this final lap to make it count, and it looks like the distance is too great. The checkered flag is already being prepared, and Rob Speak into time 3 for the final time. Bert Finnegan is desperately trying to reel him, but it's too late, and Rob Speak, he takes the world title for a record 7th time in Formula 2 stock car racing, and that was a cliffhanger finish, a classic world final again, as illustrated on the Shale here at a terrific race at Swindon Raceway this afternoon. World champion, defending title holder Rob Speak comes again to 24.
They'll do anything they can to beat him. You're not fuck off. You're not in. Come with Beaker.